Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time, the Legion of Doom.
Hey! That's my Kevin Smith impression. It's always like Mark Bernardin going like...
I have no audio, so if anyone can hear me.
And then, do I have... Oh. Do you hear me or no?
Jake, do the live stream solo while I fix my technical
issues. What up, guys? I guess it's just me. That means we can play just
Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time, the Legion of Doom.
That one looks so lonely and sad. Finally alive. I was asking all night if you guys wanted one. And James hears both of you. So Jordan, it's all on you. You probably didn't charge your DAC or one of your 50 different pieces. Yeah, so what's up, guys? I guess we could start. I can show off some new books I got. I'll probably do an actual official video on them, but I want to thank Sunny, aka Super Laugh Hard, for this book. And I don't know if I can move the webcam so you guys can see, if you guys can see that little area here. This is the complete Eagle Moss set of Batman Murderer, Bruce Wayne Murderer, and Bruce Wayne Fugitive. He also threw in throw me back in. You should have waved at me.
I was doing this.
I wasn't paying attention. I was running a show. I was,
wow.
I was healing a nation, is what I would say. Healing a nation. James, is it linked on our Discord? What?
This stream we're monetizing, right? So I should refrain from saying bad words.
I don't care, man. You can even just try to monetize something and it tells you yes or no.
But the issue was so my web browser or StreamYard likes to fuck with me, and they go, no, we're not going to send the audio to your DAC. We're going to send it to your microphone.
Why do you even use the DAC? Why can't you just use regular audio like a regular person? Like, you're not doing hi-fi stuff.
I'm all about the high fidelity. No,
I have a DAC. Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's to the DAC or not. It just only sends it to the mic because it has a aux out for some reason that it doesn't want to register. But yeah, I could hear. It's stupid.
Cool. We're all ready. I'm going to link this to the Discord if anyone is still awake.
And we're talking about bang the Jake, we weren't prepared for live stream tonight, but
I'm always prepared. I
love being here.
What up, Animation King? What are you guys currently reading right now? I just finished reading Superman for All Seasons, the Absolute, which I'll show off. Jordan, do you have any new books to show off, or did you show off your last ones in the bachelor party?
I blew my load on the bachelor party. I'll get a new book tomorrow, which is Batman Detective Omnibus. Also, Josh said send him the invite. So
we are talking about Bang? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm getting a new omnibus tomorrow, the Batman Detective Omnibus by Tomasi. It says it's coming on September 5th, but I just checked the actual USPS, and yeah, it's down the street right now. It's at the post office.
Radical, dude. I'll grab my new books.
Yeah, you do that. While I sit here and I do a dramatic reading of Bang, the Ballad of the Tiger by the one true Great House.
I heard it was like he was just an okay house.
Once upon a time. Nope.
You guys like my new shirt? My new Batman animated series shirt?
Oh, that was the one that was $100, right?
It was like $30.
Wow. Significantly better than what I remember.
So I got two books to show off. First off, I got the Absolute edition of Superman for All Seasons.
Ooh. Josh sent a picture of his mic.
Nice.
And his Wacom tablet, which has is that preview of Bang on there of something upcoming?
How much Bang have you read, man? Have you read all of it or just some of it? That's it.
I
Dude,
want to read it physically.
You haven't even started Bang.
I want to read it physically. That's a question that I have for Josh: is when is volume? I mean, how short these are, or compact the book is. There's gonna be like 10 of them. But yeah, I want to know when the next one's coming out. I want to buy it. I'll even pre-order it.
Why don't you just get? Why don't you have him send you the PDF that has a special thank you to the Brave and the Boys at the end?
I saw the special thank you. It was adorable. Listen, because it's one thing to read it digitally, it's another thing to read it physically.
It's a larger size on the screen. If you really cared about the art,
I could always just read it on my 42-inch
stop
monitor.
making excuses. It's literally a fact. You could read all of Bang in 20 minutes.
I know I can.
No, you're just making excuses. He's a good friend. You should support Bang.
You don't even know what stream. What did he post it on? Webtoons. You don't even know what webtoons are.
I do. Hold on. We're gonna wait till he gets here. I support him on Patreon.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
What
Okay,
up?
you've one up
Run me
me.
through. Okay, run me through. I have a question. Can I ask you a controversial question?
We're getting
What is
canceled.
your favorite movie that does have a female protagonist in it? I'm just curious. That's a fair question.
Okay.
Because I know sometimes that, they can be pandering, but I know sometimes they're cool. Like, I think Aliens is a dope movie. Okay, boom! There we go!
Aliens.
I said Aliens before he said it. There we go. Homies.
Okay, Alien and Aliens are both phenomenal movies. I know you don't
because
like
of the cat.
Yeah, that's why. I'm trying to think
Because
what
of
other
the
movies.
cat. Run me through how much of my bachelor party live stream did you watch? Did you make it to the end when we were all getting shirtless and Omni Dog pieced out?
You mean he got hungry?
So today we are going to be talking about the indie darling known as Bang, the Ballad of the Tiger.
Let me see if I can log into my website.
It will. It will. Aliens is a great suspense horror, and Aliens is the action horror. I love how they're both different. I made it the first 2 hours. Oh, you got to go back. We got shirtless. Someone started dancing. But I think what was fun about that was, like, I tried to have, like, everybody, like all my YouTube friends that I could. But yo, Great House, are you coming?
Ayo.
Are you? I'm gonna spell coming wrong.
We're getting canceled.
Run me through. What are you reading right now? I just that one dude has hella followers. Oh, was that your okay? Here's gonna be a funny question. Was that your first time watching Near Mint Condition ever, or Omar from Near Mint? Because I think he's who a lot of people discover first, and then they discover Jim. But it's interesting nowadays that people discover Jim first and then discover Omar. So they do have. I think they have one video where they collab together, but they're like wildly different styles. But it is so what's cool about Omar, if you don't know, is he actually has a partnership with Marvel. So Marvel sends him his Omnis early, and he gets to do all their announcements. So whenever Marvel has a new book coming out, he's the one that gets to announce it. So he's a great dude. He was our very first person that we ever got to interview back when we had like 20 followers or something.
Yeah, that's a great question. How many followers we had back then?
It was fun because like he wasn't even like regular. He was just chilling. Like he was not on the clock, Omar, that night. You know what I mean? Like he's usually way more professional. But I just finished reading Superman for All Seasons, Absolute Edition. I couldn't wait until the book came. I read it digitally on my iPad, so then I reread it. What up, Valzad? If he did, he got to have rest. My next book that I'm gonna read courtesy of our friends at Organic Price Books, is Absolute V for Vendetta. So shockingly enough, I've never read this or seen the movie, and I love Alan Moore. What up? Is that the world famous creator of Bang the Ballad of the Tiger?
So I just want to point something out. You all do this all the time. I had to get set up, including the professional light.
Ooh, I don't even have a professional light.
Yeah, because I mean, look at that beast. Look at that.
Jesus.
Do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see my professional light? So I have that, and then just like a regular. You can't even see it. Fill light.
You
But
ready
yeah,
to
you
see
gotta get
this
professional
professionalism? Yeah.
I was going to say,
It's called a $20 lamp from Best Buy.
that one's actually not bad. Like, I think if you got like one more of those, you'd probably be set. I won't lie though.
So run me through is reading X-Men, The Fatal Attraction. Josh, you love
X-Men.
X-Men, right? You're a big X-Men fan.
X-Men. I'm out.
Yeah, he's leaving.
So Josh, actually, this is like the first or second time I've ever talked to Josh, like ever. Besides,
I think the last time you guys
doing
talked was
That was
what
maybe
will I
for
love
book
most
club.
about V for Vendetta? You've never done book club.
Josh, tell him I was on book club once.
When?
Oh, fuck me. So, Josh, I think Jake and I both agreed that we wanted a dramatic reading from you for chapter 1.
Or do you want me to do it with my voices? Guys, we are very excited. This is the creator of Indie Darling Classic. I think it swept was it the Eisners that it swept?
No.
Bang the Ballad of the Tiger. So sadly, Jordan has only read what is available physically. But for
I
me,
want
my
to read
hunger
it
could not-
physically.
my hunger could not be satiated by what was available physically. So there we go. James remembers every address my parents have ever lived at. You were never in a book club.
James, what's my address? But send it to DM me on the Discord to validate.
Don't do that. He knows your address. Like, don't tempt fate.
James, DM me on Discord so I can validate. But what's my address?
Are you even
noticed
on the
that.
Discord? I thought your payment lapsed.
It did lapse. I'm back on.
All I wanna
He
say
also,
is
we have
my-
a Tabata one.
My payment towards Josh Greathouse, Indie Darling, did not lapse. So I'm still a strong member of the Patreon.
I was about to say, one of you is a strong member of my Patreon.
Did I see my camera? I hate when
So,
I'm moving.
For
There we go.
me,
Okay.
I couldn't be satiated by the first 5 issues of Bang. I read the first 17 all in one go. I binged it. And honestly, my favorite issue isn't in the first trade. So I'm very glad I read past it. My
Which
favorite
one's your-
character, the one when they get out of the cave and she fights the pantsless swordsman.
The Prince.
Yeah, the prince. I thought he was a
Spoilers.
great character. I'm fangirling here. I'm meeting one of my favorite authors.
So, what's funny about that character? One, that character is like an homage to like 50s, 60s fantasy. It's like if you look at Frazetta, all of his none of his characters wore pants. So it's literally like, oh, let's have some fun with that. 2, what's interesting is, so my mentor Brian Stelfreeze is a German name, which I think if memory serves right, like his family got it from their former owners. So with that character, I was like, well, if I'm gonna go straight up Frazetta, let's give
got
him
it, no
a
pants?
German name in honor of Stelfreeze. And then along with that as well, I also named him after another friend of mine who isn't as well known, so I'm not gonna give out that as much. But yeah,
I'm gonna show off the cover to my favorite issue of Bang.
is it issue 9?
It is
Nice.
it is chapter 9, The Challenger.
Which is an homage to chapter 2.
I remember that. Okay, so I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
I'm bad with character names, but
Same.
are we able to spoil things? Do you want to spoil things for the first 5 chapters?
Nah. I mean, I'll say this.
Okay, so here's what I'll say in a non-spoiler way.
I'm doing just the first
The
chapter. By the way,
plucky
is what I'm showing.
sidekick. Did you always envision the twist with the plucky sidekick? Like, was that before you even wrote Bang, or was that just something that you found along the way? Because I think it's interesting, like how you think he's going to be this trope of the plucky side character, but then you set the seeds to like a lot of what I think will happen down the road with his character.
So okay, let me talk about where Bang came from. That will answer your question as well.
Okay.
So I actually work on 2 comics: Bang the Battle of the Tiger, which I'm working on right now, and then the other one known as Unprofessional. Unprofessional is my quote unquote real comic, and what I mean by that is like it is way more detailed. Like it takes forever to do a page.
Wait, can I ask a quick question? Is it possible to screen share what you're drawing?
Let me see.
Mine.
So go to present. Do you see present in front of you down below next to settings and in
Oh, I'm blurry. Still blurry. I'm gonna fix that right
now. Share screen.
Did you get that Hitman deal off Amazon? Because I did.
So fun fact, it's not letting me share the screen.
Okay. I just thought it'd be cool. But no worries. Oh. Did we lose?
Bye, Jay. Bye, Josh.
Guys, good reminder. You can buy Bang the Ballad of the Tiger, Volume 1 right here. What was your favorite compendium announcement?
Hold on. So my video is going to cut out. My audio is still going to be here. So
what is this? I'm a consummate professional.
You're a professional?
Oh, you do still have audio.
Yeah, I told you I'm still going to have audio. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Why did your video need to change?
Because my camera's acting up.
I think it's just that I capped you at 720.
Is that what that is?
Dude, I am so sad the volcano menu's gone, but it's helpful because I'm on a diet right now. I'm trying to get wedding ready in 2 weeks. Yeah, Nightwing's. Here's the thing. I love omnis. I love deluxes. I love absolutes. Not every book can be an omnibus. And if this Nightwing book is more accessible and means someone can read Nightwing in an easier format, like for me, when I didn't have a lot of money, I really wanted to collect Sweet Tooth. So I bought the Sweet Tooth compendiums, and they were awesome for me. I talk to him often. He's a really great guy. I think it was hard during the summer because of Comic-Con, and they were busy doing a lot of like signing stuff for Bang. But you know what? I am gonna screenshot this right here, and I'm gonna send this to Ryan. You're back.
Hey.
So here's the fun thing. I was logging in thinking I was still on the stream, so I was answering questions.
Oh my God. Who was asking you questions?
So I'm literally over here like, hey, so I think I can you see my screen?
Yes.
So, because let's see, I'm on a little bit of a lapse. I just want to see.
Like...
Oh, yeah, you can. There you can. Haha. Cool. So, yeah, here's the current page I'm working on.
There we go. We'll do it off to the side.
So, I use.
Is that Procreate?
No, I actually use Clip Studio Paint. And just to give you a quick couple updates, just to let you know what I'm doing. So, I do the pencil layers. Typically, I do these in 3 parts. Like if you can see that very faint right here where my pencil is, that's like the first layer. Then I do like the second layer, which is a little tighter, and then I'll do like, because you can kind of see it's like I don't really do the background here, but then I'll do the figures. So once I get that all worked out, I drop it to a random number like 60%. I do the inks, which I'm working on now. I do the blue. This is where I do the speed lines. So I'll color in everything blue and then do speed lines at the end.
I want to shout out Valzad's thing. Yeah, dude. I think for me, I got bit by the Omni bug for a while. But then when we did our Sandman video where I talked about all the different formats you can collect Sandman in, I realized I think I like deluxes the best.
So Jake, as a heads up,
that does look clean as fuck.
Epic collections are the deluxe editions.
I own an Epic collection.
Compendiums. Do you?
You bought me an Epic. You bought. Oh, you know what? I'm confusing Marvel Masterworks with Epic collections. How are they different?
Epic collections are the deluxe editions of compendiums. So they're floppy, they're standard size, but they're
My Marvel Masterworks is
shorter.
hardcover though.
Marvel Masterworks can be both hardcover and softcover because I actually own a Marvel Masterworks softcover of the first Fantastic Four.
They're getting more expensive. They just announced the first MMW that will be $100, and of course, it's an X-Men one.
Like I love. So if you don't know me, I love giving like X-Men fans grief. Part of it though, because I actually do enjoy the X-Men to a certain extent. I don't want to get into it because I'm like, that is a quicksand trap. Like that is just a money hole I do not want to get into.
I wasted so much money buying every Uncanny X-Men omnibus only to sell them off because I realized I opened it, tried to read it, and I didn't like it.
I will say this.
We got a question for you though. Who are Josh's influences, or what artists inspired him?
So with Bang, there's a couple. Like the one everyone mentions, which I am a huge fan of, is Mike Mignola, especially right before Hellboy to like early Hellboy is my favorite Mignola. Like I enjoy current one, but I don't know. Right now, I call him in like the puppet like period of his work because everything looks like a puppet. It's the weirdest thing. Like his last Conan cover, I'm like, that looks like a wooden puppet.
That's why Jordan likes him so much. He's always had a kink for puppets.
Jordan, that was weak. Like you're going to take that from Jake? That was so weak.
Listen, once you've known Jake long enough, you just take it regardless of the strength of it.
See, that's why he says he's the power bottom of the Brave and the Boys.
Look, he is not a power bottom. Power bottom would not take that shit. But the other ones for Bang, Dragon Ball with Toriyama is a big one, especially because the original Dragon Ball with the like limited color palettes, where I got my color palette for Bang. I would say like Alex Toth is another big one. But
you're always talking about Alex Toth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Josh, there is one that I was curious about, and I said it in my my review that I did on the channel. Your scenes are like your scenes or your paneling, especially landscapes in particular, give me really strong like Samurai Jack vibes. Like almost like single tone, like almost these grand landscapes, but they're simplified with that 2D flatness to them, and it just gives me like that straight vibe of it.
So I'm a huge Genji Tartakovsky fan, who's the creator of Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say with those, that goes down more to like, well, the reason I bring up like Alex Toth, even Mike Mignola, they're more about composition than anything else. So what's crazy is like, I don't know if it's on this computer. Well, let's see. You know what? This is an unpolished stream. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
What? Nothing I do is unpolished.
So
are we talking about the Wolverine cover that he did? Because I didn't like that.
No,
and Josh,
the Conan the Barbarian.
Known release date for Bang Ballad of the Tiger Volume 2.
That was a Mike upcoming question. Yes.
Next year, I do know that. Also, I still have plenty of copies of this wonderful darling. So if you would like to purchase this fantastic book. But so here's a fun little thing.
Oh, sorry.
Like me and every other white woman uses Pinterest, but I use it for reference.
I use it for planning my wedding dream boards.
See? But like it's so weird because I usually use the mobile version. Where are you? Background, because I literally have one for like background stone walls, which actually comes in handy. I'm not seeing it. Here it is.
Can we look at that black and white art one? That one looks cool.
Sure. But like I said, I literally have one that's just like random, like I separated by continent, so I have like Asia.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Because I know a lot of people, it's always like, oh, what's your influence? Like, which artist? I use a lot of reference because if I don't know how to draw something, I'm like, fuck it, let's take a look at it. Okay, what's fun is, which one was it? This one, yeah. So this guy right here, I found this board. I'm like, this is such a great little trick. So fun fact though.
Cycle, that was a good point, and I think we need to address it. Josh does not think that black women can use Pinterest. Care to comment? Also, Cycle Cleveland, I think it's kind of weird that you're in lowercase.
Okay. God. So one, my white women plus me is actually a bit from a female comedian. Cycle would know this, but clearly he doesn't participate. He doesn't actually listen to female comedians because he's sexist. And the reason I didn't mention black women because they are strong and independent and don't need Pinterest. Suck it.
That is fair. And let me see if I could steal the presentation just for 1 second so that I could show. Yeah, that's fine. This is Mike Mignola's Conan the Barbarian cover. So this is what we're talking about. This is for the new Conan, by the way.
Thanks, Fran.
Why is Josh Greathouse not listed in your top 3 favorite artists? Run me through.
It's a great question.
I like to troll Josh. Okay, Jordan, what did you like about Bang when you read it? So for me, I feel like what's hard about Volume 1 is I feel like I got into it at the end of Volume 1, and then the story gets started. Like I feel like a lot of the key things that I feel like will be bigger parts later on happen after, like, you know, they reach the cave and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What I like about it is that it, or at least just based off of the first volume, it's not overly complex. Like I enjoyed reading it because I could sit down.
It sounded like a neg.
No.
Whoa. See, here's the problem with Jake. He loves to throw shit out.
He does. He loves it, but he hates to take it.
When someone goes, it doesn't overly complex. Any moron can do complex. Simplicity is the hardest thing to achieve.
It truly is.
It's the essence.
So wait a minute, bring my screen back up. Me drawing.
I didn't hear a please.
Okay.
I'm your guest.
If it makes you feel better, Cycle Cleveland, there is Omnidog merch. He just needs. I've already made it. It's on my Redbubble. You just need to give the get him to give the go ahead. The best thing is there is a COVID mask that's just a dog nose and dog lips and dog fur, so you get to actually be the titular Omnidog.
Are we sure this is Cycle Cleveland? He's asking questions he should know, and they're not in all caps.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the ASMR portion of the show?
So wait, Jordan.
Stop burping into the camera.
Yes. What's up?
But Jordan, none of this page means anything to you, though. Like, don't read the text, but like the imagery doesn't mean anything.
Am I supposed to get something? I'm not reading the text. I'm intentionally avoiding the spoiler portion of it.
Sure, but Jake, you get what's going on in this page.
Can you bring me a seltzer watermelon from downstairs? Love you, fiance.
This is a professional stream, Jake.
Okay, so let me zoom in. Let me zoom into this.
I love how you're
yes. Okay, I know what that is. Yes. So
that's all I wanted to know. We're all good there.
So was that always the plan? No. And you kind of just okay.
So to go back to the original, like the quick version of this, I had a job as a
I'm sober.
As a security
guard.
Jordan's
Waterloo.
Sorry,
you had a job as a security guy?
Quick thing. I feel like Waterloo's okay, but not the best. Like, I don't know, they're a little pricey.
It's like 50 cents per can. Something like that.
Bubbly or whatever. That's the one I like.
I'm just gonna get a Soda Stream after the wedding. I wanted to get it now, but I gotta save money for the wedding.
Is it not on your registry?
You're like, I need to buy this book, and I saw your All-Star Superman or Superman for All Seasons.
Didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for a single book on that photo.
Who paid for that?
Super Laugh Hard sent me those books out of the kindness of his heart, and I paid for half of Jordan's set.
Sonny he is way too nice. Anyway, back to my answer. Hopefully by the end of the stream, we'll get this answer out. So long story short, I was working on another, like my real comic, and Bang was supposed to just be like me goofing around. And I was like, let me do character designs as if I'm doing like a Saturday morning cartoon that's fantasy based. then I had fun like drawing it. So I was like, let me write 5 pages and like do something, because this is me just goofing around at work. 5 pages turned into an issue. An issue turned into, it turned into 2 or 3. But the kind of the crazy thing is, I had a vague notion where I was going, because if you look at page 1, the first thing you see is actually the symbol. Which actually, no, it makes an appearance in chapter 4. So yeah, you should know that symbol.
Oh, thank you, love.
Sorry, I read Jake's comment.
That's simple.
I was talking about the shirt quality of Redbubble for Psycho Cleveland. They are not very good. You know what would be fun? We should get everybody in the Near Mint Discord to do, like, we should all video chat one day and play a D&D campaign in the Bang world. That would be dope. That would be sick.
The only problem with that is there's certain things I haven't given away yet.
True. Josh, can you make a D&D guide to the world of Bang?
Yeah.
No, so I play D&D. I am not good at the mechanics of that.
I will send you $5.
What class is Bang? Is she a fighter?
Yeah, Bang would technically be a fighter. Well, fighter/monk, if we're going to be technical.
I was going to say monk would be the actual class for Bang.
And then the other older lady, she'd be like a swordsman, right? Or like a mercenary?
Yasmin the Blade, and she would be a... Man, it's kind of clear Jake doesn't play D&D. Poser over here.
I know.
I played 3rd edition.
3rd edition?
I was in high school.
The worst part is I want to play D&D, but don't. But I know most of the rules.
Wait, no, 4th edition.
And I played a lot of Diablo.
I will say this: if someone's trying to get into D&D, check out, like, there's various Discord groups for like your local area. They're always looking for players.
Jake, you ready to show your remark on the back of your book? If you buy your copy of Bang straight from Josh, you can potentially get a remark in your book.
And 1 in every 40 copies, the remark is a boob.
No.
What is he, Akira Toriyama?
If you're a Patreon subscriber, you have a 1 in 40 chance of getting a Bang boob.
Actually, the Patreon...
There is one, right? There's one famous. Like, there's a 1 of 1 in the world, right? Of a Bang boob.
Oh, no, there's 2.
Oh, there's 2 boobs, obviously.
Well, one... one James has. The other one I don't mention, but the other one is like the least sexy boob and just has a character going itchy. That was an inside joke.
What is Yasmin the Blade smoking out of her pipe?
Just tobacco.
Okay.
You should have said long weed.
Well, no, because she does talk about, it's like the reason she likes the reason she smokes is to get the taste of bodies out of her mouth and make sure her enemies always know where she's at.
That's brutal. That's metal. I love it.
You would have known that if you read Bang, Jordan.
I told you I'm reading it physically.
You would have known because it's on chapter 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, is this only 3 issues? I thought there was 4 issues in the book.
No, there's 4 issues in there.
4, yeah.
It's literally them walking down, and it's, Mitras, why do you smoke? The 2 main reasons. 1, it helps keep the taste of burning flesh and other things out of my mouth. The second reason, I want my enemies to know where I'm at all times.
I thought that was pretty badass.
That is.
What class would Edmund be? Or Edmard?
Well, that's technically a spoiler, but he would be a warlock.
I feel like he'd have to be a dual class, though. Like he's secretly a warlock, but he has to have like a regular class that you think he is first.
No, it's that he is 1,000% typical D&D warlock, because it's like there always is some story where it's like you have some patron. Spoiler, well, Jordan, you really just need to start reading some shit.
You know what? Can we just spoil it for Jordan? He's saying that he's gonna wait until he read it physically, just so he doesn't have to read it. He could read it digitally.
That's not
like a good friend.
true. I want to read it physically as a good friend. I want to buy every copy Let me rephrase. Not every copy. I want to buy every volume of Bang that will ever be released.
You can read it digitally and still buy it physically.
I know, but it's just a different experience. Which, Josh,
I'm sorry.
Who's your printer?
I honestly forget. It's a Canadian printer. A pal of mine who's done some books via Image recommended them.
Because it's nice. I like it.
Look at how oversized it is on the iPad, though. It's like an absolute Bang.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fun fact though, Bang's technically designed for this size.
Mm-hmm. Also, you're right. I do need to get back to reading more. The current tabs I have open are one for my RBT training and one for my application to grad school. So
I thought you were in grad school.
no, I'm trying to get in. They rejected me the first time around.
Is it because of Jake?
It's 100% because of Jake.
No, because of me, he knew how to handle the rejection.
I don't know about that.
Quick spoilers. And here's the thing. I will spoil this. Jordan, you can take your headphones off. You can mute it. He's not doing it? Okay. Feel like he's got the warning. So anyway, yeah, because Ed gets possessed by big bad ancient known as Lord Tor. And I got a lot of fun plans with that. Haha, he left. Got a lot of fun plans with that.
I booted him.
I'm back.
I feel like you still haven't answered my question. Was that always the plan?
Oh,
or
sorry.
Did you
I haven't. So when I started, I didn't really have a plan. I had a very loose plan because it was like, I know I want this guy to be the villain. I made like some crazy, like I made some random character designs. And then it was the kind of thing, as things went on, it was like, okay, with Eddie, I'm like, I can't just have him be the annoying, snarky character. Like, he's got to do something.
Yeah, because that shit gets old pretty quickly.
And the problem with that was, I'm like, he can't, like, I have two fighters. I'm like, what can I do? Then it was the kind of thing I'm like, okay, what if he uses magic? But it's also one of the things with Bang I try to do. I try not to take the like first obvious answer. So it's like, okay, usually it's like, oh, you can do magic. That means a fireball. It's like, well, that's boring. So it's like, what if he uses magic, but he's not in control? What if someone else is in control? And it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So it's like,
and I feel like it also fits the character because he is in some way still that kind of like plucky, he's like still like that character that's not super in control and still kind of a victim of things, but it's interesting now because he's not like helpless,
Well, and the other thing is, another spoiler, but it's like I always planned to have a rift between the three of them. I did not plan to have that rift happen so quickly, but all of a sudden I was like, just from writing, I'm like, this makes sense. Let's explore this.
I like how one thing I like about Bang though, especially if you read past the first 4 issues, is you do like different genres. You know what I mean? So like I get like that, like that anime feeling that reminds me of like Samurai Jack or like Avatar, like something like that where it's like an adventure. But then you also do like twisted dark horror. Like there's some like fucked up twisted shit in this book down the road, and I think that's really cool how you mix genres.
So what's fun about that storyline? That was the first time I've done horror. I'm planning on doing a little bit more, because that was also inspired by the Witcher DLC. But the other thing was, I was also inspired by Ed Gein, the real life serial killer.
All right, I've decided to return now. I feel like it's been long enough.
Yep.
Oh, we're right in the meat of it, dude. Fireballs are boring. How about this? I feel like Cycle Cleveland should prove fireballs aren't boring by taking a shot of Fireball right now.
No, here's the thing. Like, well, and this is my other rule with Bang. I was like, okay, I can't do Tolkien inspired, and like I enjoy Lord of the Rings, but it's like D&D. Everything has gone to the well to Lord of the Rings, and even to that extent, it's like it's gone to the well of Celtic and Norse myth. So
which I'm reading Lord of the Rings actually. right now.
No,
So
and here's the thing: it's Lord of the Rings is a classic. Don't get me wrong, but the problem is, and it's not even with Tolkien. It's when you get into like when you get into every other copy, it's just a copy of Lord of the Rings. You're like, it's like why watch this when I can watch Return of the King or The Two Towers.
Mhm.
So that was my goal, was like, because honestly, one of my theories, which we'll never know technically, but like, because Tolkien invented the orcs, what we know as orcs.
yes.
I am 90% convinced that orcs were inspired by Vikings.
Ooh, I like this theory.
Well, here's the thing: like, orcs are nothing but like warring, like raiding parties of just terrifying creatures. Now, if you're looking at Celtic myths, and that's Ireland, England, who would fit that bill but Vikings?
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's like, because it's interesting, and it's one of those. Like I said, I wanted to throw orcs in here, but I'm like, everyone else does that. I can't do that. Hence the Yorick, the giant pig dudes.
I
Okay.
feel like I think you do take like familiar things and make them more interesting. Like I like how you make the goblins look. Like I feel like they look different than I'm used to like cave goblins looking. Like they almost look like, I don't want to say Furbies, but like demented little Furby cat things.
Also, man, I gotta get him back in there, but why can't I remember his name? The head of the goblins, Mister. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
I can pull it up right now. I have the book open. What issue was it? Do you remember?
It's chapter 5.
Okay, let's see. I'm on chapter 7.
Let's see if I can get this faster than you. My
Oh, dude,
God.
you know what? The
Mr. Freak.
general guy or the royal prince guy with the red hair, was he based off of that character from Hunter x Hunter? What's his name? Like the
Oh no, I went no. That dude okay, so it's Mr. Creed I was thinking about with the goblin. No, the Duke, I want to say the Duke. He is based
yeah.
off of David Bowie.
Okay. I got kind of a vibe
He's
from
very Bowie.
that clown, that like almost
I know.
pedophile clown character from Hunter x Hunter. What's his name? I can't blank. I'm bad with names.
I know who you're talking about. Literally, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never seen Hunter x Hunter.
Jordan, look up clown. Look up clown pedophile. Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh, I don't know.
Why
if I
did a
want to
photo
do
of
that.
Jordan pop up?
I don't know if
Orcs appeared in Beowulf. Oh, okay. Psycho Cleveland challenging.
One, Grendel and Grendel's mom appeared in Beowulf, not orcs.
There's a lot of unnecessary details with Lord of the Rings. Bang
It's
seems like it's going straight for the
world
fun
building.
of the genre.
Nah, means a lot, Brand.
Yeah, I mean I feel like it's just like the quintessential spirit of adventure about Bang that makes it
Wow.
fun. Like you have the ability to tell like small one-off stories or like 2-3 issue arcs like you do with the horror one. But what's nice is that you set the seeds for an overarching plot.
Is that the Corinthian
Don't
over
fall
there?
for Psycho
What am I
Cleveland's
looking at?
bait. And I don't like it when it goes like that. Hisoka. There we go. That's what I thought it was. Let me pull the photo of Hisoka for you guys so you know I'm not crazy.
Sorry, like you guys literally cut out on me, so I didn't hear like any of the last 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to show them what a photo of Hisoka looks like right now.
That's it.
Share
Yep.
screen.
Hunter, I won't lie, Hunter x Hunter, that is a fun
Oh, I've seen that guy.
yeah. He's literally like, he is a creepy like of a character.
Oh, and he's back.
Yeah, sorry. I had
Josh,
to
you-
remove the Hisoka thing and I removed Josh. But yeah, Hisoka is a creepy character. But I kind of see the David Bowie thing now that you mention it. I have a funny text from Jess. Her sister said, if you haven't gone outside to see the blue moon, go see it. It's gorgeous. So Jess runs outside and texts, it doesn't look blue out here. Blue means it's like the second full moon of the month, but she thought it was actually blue. She's adorable.
in all fairness, because there's the there's the Harvest Moon, which is red, so it's like you never know.
Yeah.
No, and like I said, I'm not bashing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Tolkien. I'm more talking about it's like everyone's gone to that well where it's kind of like you're so used to seeing fantasy where it's like, well, like a little thing. The dwarves in my world are based off of Aztec and Mayans.
I like that. I like the differentiation.
Which, good God, like granted, MCU did it with Namor, but man, it's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of great iconography with both like Aztec and or Mayans, and it's like, man, people have been sleeping on this.
Like the only other example I could think of Aztecs in culture or pop culture is Doctor Who and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And that's about it.
Which is like, no pun intended. It's so crazy to see Aztecs and JoJo's because it's like the less you know about that show and like just go in blind, watch past the first season, and I guarantee you'll go, "What the fuck."
It's crazy, and I love it because it's crazy.
Especially, did you get to part 3 with the dude with the shadow powers?
No, I stopped on part 2. I finished out part 2, and I have the books for part 3. I just haven't read them.
I won't lie. I haven't read JoJo's because it's one of those.
It's 1-to-1. If you watch the anime, it's the same thing.
Cycle said Tolkien literally took the word orc from an old English term orcness, which was plural for orc and meant the exact same thing.
Interesting. Also, yeah, JoJo Part 2 slaps.
Here's the thing, like part 2 to like 3 gets crazier. I've heard 4, like a lot of people rave about 4.
Yeah, part 1 with Joseph, I thought Joseph was gonna be my favorite JoJo. But then is it Joseph or Jonathan?
Jonathan.
I thought Jonathan was gonna be my favorite JoJo, and then I met Joseph Joestar, and I was like, oh, that's it. That's the one.
Jake, have you not seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No, I haven't watched a lot of anime. I've watched Fairy Tail. I watched all of Fairy Tail. I watched the first season of Sword Art Online.
Ooh.
I've watched Hunter x Hunter.
I like it.
And I stopped watching okay, so my thing is I like my animes to be a little lighthearted. Like I like Naruto, I like Shippuden if you skip the filler. I like Hunter x Hunter, but I tried watching Attack on Titans and I stopped watching. I stopped watching when the Titan ate the main character, not knowing what happened afterwards. So I stopped at the Warrior's time.
AOT is so good, but the season 1 takes just so long to get started.
So,
but yeah, I'm honestly like, I like anime, but I also just like TV is my second screen. So I don't like watching anime with, when it's dubbed. I only watch it subbed, and I don't watch TV like as my number one screen. I'll be like reading a comic and watching TV in the background, or, writing a script, watching TV in the background. So anime is a little harder.
I see. I'm on these, and I'm probably going to piss off Cycle, which I do anyway. Because I watch more dubbed than sub because I'm usually drawing, so it's easier to listen to.
Okay, so that was our interview with Josh Greathouse.
See, I knew Cycle. Okay, I'm going to give you the.
See, I could ignore TV shows if I had my own copy of Goiter, but apparently I'm not big enough yet.
All right, let Josh talk. God damn, Jake. Son of a bitch.
If you ever do a stream with anyone else, they only do the chat. You gotta respond to the chat.
Okay, Jess.
I actually appreciate when people talk about the chat because it's like it is always infuriating. It drives me nuts when I'm like typing stuff out. Hell, you want to see some me like going nuts? Watch the Real Talk on NMC with the Dragon Ball Evolution. Ugh, that an atrocity. But anyway, JoJo's quick thing. The most batshit insane powers I've ever seen. Like it literally makes superheroes look tame.
It's so good.
But each part is a different generation of the family.
Yeah.
So what's cool about that is it feels refreshed in some ways because it's not just like next time on JoJo's Bizarre, because like the problem with like X-Men or some of these long running like big 2 comics, you're like, oh man, how many times can Daredevil fight the Kingpin, or how many times can the Joker get out?
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I guess the repetitive character would be Dio, but still, like, it's cool and it's an inventive every time that they show him. My favorite part about JoJo is just how fast.
Should I just leave so you guys can have your JoJo episode?
That's fine. We'll talk about Dragon Ball, JoJo, AOT.
Okay, guys, that was a lot of fun. We'll just have Josh drawing in the background while I talk. We'll listen to the chat. Chat, do you want to talk about comics or do you want to talk about their love of JoJo, which to me looks like, I've seen images and it looks like I'm the bisexual one and it makes me question Jordan's sexuality.
It's very homoerotic. Extremely. But it's there was no but to it. Yeah, I only watched Columbo. Oh, I love Columbo. Don't get me started.
I've heard nothing but good things about
He is so
Columbo.
pretty. Aw. Also,
yeah,
I have this thing calling out to me. It's saying it wants to go home to its one true owner. I have yet to see Jake as a character in Bang. Josh, look at this.
Oh, that window is passed, my friend.
Well, I bought it for you.
That window is passed.
Jake.
You never sent me character sketches. Oh, he's gone.
Was that for Josh or what? What was the deal here that I missed out on?
That I would be a character in Bang that would have an arc.
You would get a whole arc?
Yeah.
It
doesn't have to be a big arc. An arc can be on one
background scene? What?
I've already finished this.
Wait, you read it?
Oh yeah, I already read it.
Oh. I don't read Marvel.
Josh, can I make a request, please?
Oh, you can. Doesn't mean I'll say yes.
Of course. And like I said, it's a request. Can you throw me into Bang as some kind of background character, but my design be based off of JoJo's art style?
No. Fuck no.
That's a bold request from a non-Patreon member.
That's fair.
That's a bold request. That's basically like, hey Josh, how much more extra work do you want to do?
Well, it's an inside thing. It's for your internal appeasement.
Draw Jake in a panel with a giant boat in the background. That's nice and pleasant.
A giant boat.
I thought it was gonna be boot or something. I thought like with Cycle, see, he's a witness. He was there for the conversation. I never got a script. I never got character arcs. I never got any design concepts. But I kept hearing, "When's my omnibus coming?" Like I'm gonna send it sight unseen without any proof. So he has an arc. Get it? Give me a boat so I have an arc.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
So I love how Jake is like, uproot your whole process just for my vanity.
Exactly. See, Jake's asking for an arc. I just want to be a background character.
Because he's literally like, screw your process. Do it now. Do it this way now, monkey. Dance, monkey, dance.
I know. Like people.
That's
people
exactly
want me to make
how
short.
Jake sounds.
They want me to make a short for Bang, but I don't make them. ChatGPT does, so I need a script.
Man, you joke, but I know there's YouTubers right now who are doing that, and they're going to hate themselves. Oh
no, that's what we do to make a quick buck. That's all of our shorts.
Look, I'll admit it. I've tightened things up with ChatGPT, but like you have to fucking write shit in it. You can't just like say write me a script, otherwise it doesn't. It's not even correct to the story. You know?
Yeah, because the problem with ChatGPT. Did you hear about the lawyer who used it?
Oh no,
I heard of it, but I don't know anything else besides just that.
Long story short, like I'll make it very quick because there's a lot of legal jumbo. The problem with ChatGPT, if it doesn't know it, it won't say it doesn't know it. It'll just make it up.
Yeah, it pretends it knows.
So it made up cases in law books. So an actual judge and stuff had to go through trying to find these books that don't exist.
I read about a doctor was testing it, and it did the same thing where instead of saying I don't know, because for some reason it doesn't say I don't know, it just tells you what it thinks the answer is.
Well, this is going down a different road. The problem with AI, the term AI, because it's not an intelligence, but depending on how you use it. But the biggest problem is, man, what was that?
I'm working on a Chat GPT script with the prompt, write me a comic like Bang, but 15% better. You know what? Let's do it, guys. Keep telling. Let's go. I think the thing about AI that I love is the art. I'm just kidding.
No,
What do you think our icon is? I didn't make that.
How about this? Jordan used AI art for the two things of us. Can you draw us an icon, a better icon? That would mean the world to us. It'll be on merch. It'll be on merch that gets sold.
That gets sold like maybe once a month.
I love it.
All I get, dude. After the Bachelor live stream, 3 Allen shirts sold the next day. Why is everyone buying the Allen shirt?
Because in a world of Kens, sometimes you just need to be an Allen.
Also, I do love how it's like, let me translate this. Hey, can you do free work for us so we can make money?
I will give you.
I will send you $5 right now.
Man, you want to talk about my freelance design job? I'm quite expensive, my man.
10. Final offer.
Also, I love how Cycle, you can talk shit about me and my comic, but at least people know about mine. Where's your book?
Yeah, where's Goiter?
He didn't even make order. Where's the Cycle Cleveland story?
Right? Jake.
See, actually on chat.
Tiger, a mighty and brave warrior. Eddie, the cunning warlock. Yasmin, a skilled swordswoman known as the Blade.
Jake really doesn't know me because this is like morally goes against my whole fiber.
This is ChatGPT is just Josh typing it right now.
I just thought it'd be funny.
Story of Bang.
I find racial slurs less offensive than this.
Jake, you've offended one of the only actual comic book like writers and illustrators that we've ever had on this
is
channel.
The only person this is the first comic book writer we've ever had. Oh no, Fire Guy Ryan and Comic Com, or whatever his name
you
is.
finally get a creator on here, and your first thing to do is pull up AI. Woof.
Let's have ChatGPT.
I know. Hold on. It's worse. I booted off him drawing actual art to pull up ChatGPT.
And you're asking him to make our new logo for free? Jeez, Jake.
Have you heard of this thing called exposure? It pays the bills quite well.
Okay, how about this? You respond with what you would charge.
Man, Ooh. Monetization changed you all. I remember when you were in For the Love of the Game.
I'm still here for the love of the game.
An artist I love for his art. Do you not,
Josh? Do you think my videos get views?
Look, I think every video Jordan, like the last 5 videos Jordan have done, have lost us a subscriber. But
no,
I can't make that joke
even
anymore. I subscribed on another account because I wanted to make you feel better. Okay, so I finally feel it though because someone unsubscribed for my bachelor party live stream.
Also, if you want to get all the subscribers, you already have that formula.
Yeah, just use ChatGPT to write our scripts.
Ooh, no. Come on. Jordan Isabel read Berserk.
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
Dude, okay. She was at the house. She was at the house when you were pontificating about like why we should get Berserk. And she was like, the joke was she was just going to respond, nope.
Now, here's the thing. Like, one, I honestly was just like, you know what? Jordan's a good guy. He's an adult. I'm going to give him the best possible chance I can for him to read Berserk. That said, and this is going to sound a little crazy, I don't think Jake should read Berserk just yet.
Dang.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
Well, how much manga have you read?
Does Usagi and Bang count?
No. And
none.
And the reason I say that because
no, you know what? I read the old Yu-Gi-Oh mangas for a little bit.
Ooh.
Now, there's 2 reasons why I'm saying I don't think you should read Berserk. One, it's one of my favorite stories, but it's not an easy story to swallow. Like it's It's a story.
I heard
Two,
Jake swallowed.
you said
And I have
you
I
said
have
in a
room temperature IQ.
well, no, it's not even that. It's just like you're not used to the certain. If you've never read manga, it's like it's better to start off with something a little bit simpler, even if it's just like one book. Get you like your feet under it, then you can go off to the races. But
Like,
the other
read,
thing you said, you like your stuff a little bit lighthearted, which is not Berserk.
Yeah, like read some My Hero. Get into it because it starts
I don't know. I
lighthearted,
don't
and
really
then it
like the
gets
idea
dark
of like
as fuck.
superhero stuff. I'm kind of over superhero stuff.
What genres do you like in movies?
I'd be down to try Boys Love.
BLs? Hold on, I can pull up a couple.
I was gonna
Okay,
say that's like you can easily joke, but at the same time, it's like that's
Isn't
like
that the most popular genre in the world?
yeah.
I'm also not joking. I could pull up a couple BLs right now.
Okay,
My
so
my
Run Me
sister is
Through says I
deep
should
into
read
that.
Death Note. He said I should read Death Note. And
Death
Cycle
Note's
Cleveland
good.
said Alonzo Sneak.
I don't know. Cycles,
I don't know that one.
Death Note's a fun one, especially because I think you can read that off the Viz app because that's also something I'd recommend because it's like $2.
Yeah, Death Note would be a phenomenal read. It's a psychological read and has nothing to do with superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really into the whole concept of having a book where you can write down someone's name in the book and then they die.
Well, that's just one aspect of it. It gets superiorly more complex than that.
Especially because it really goes into like morality. Like it asks a lot of questions.
I know what I should read. I should read Hunter x Hunter after the TV show dropped off.
Yeah, you can because the newest volume.
You don't
of that
sound
comes
happy.
out.
I thought we made a compromise. I don't like colorless books, and I don't like reading backwards.
You should read Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is the go-to intro manga for like anybody.
Okay, so Brand XX said Trigon.
I've always wanted to read Trigon. I've never had the opportunity to though.
That is
Cycle Cleveland said read all of Simon Hanselman's books, and then James said read 20th Century Boys.
Ooh, 20th Century Boys is a good one.
Okay,
good.
Is there a boys love book that's like a satire of Batman and Robin?
Ugh. The problem with like, I will say this, from my understanding of most boys love, it's one, they're all like kind of romance. Two, it's usually like you probably can find like a doujinshi of one. I doubt you'll find the official like printed
like a manga. So okay, here's a good recommendation off of the Webtoons app. So it's not an actual manga.
Wait.
Are
you going to recommend something besides Bang? So you're able to go
well,
on
after
Webtoons
you
for
read...
other. You're able to go on Webtoons for other things, but you can't go on Webtoons to read Josh's book.
There's not a physical copy of Jackson's Diary. So what you do?
Wait a minute.
So you would read Josh's book if he hadn't spent the money to give us.
No, hold on. I'm not there yet. Let me explain. So, okay, if you want to start getting into manga and you want to BL, but you don't want to go straight into the Japanese like that, Jackson's Diary is a phenomenal story that you should read. That is a BL. I have not read it. My sister reads it. And then every week she will come to my room and she will give me the synopsis of that week's chapter update.
Another one you might
Island could be good. We talked about Comic Storian with it.
Mao. I'm a big fan of Rumiki Takahashi.
I thought you said Mao, like the dictator.
Well, it's
Zedong.
It's the same name, but it's her newest book, Mao.
Interesting. That one I don't know.
So you I think because you guys don't know who Rumiki Takahashi is, do you?
No.
So she's the creator of Inuyasha.
Oh, okay, I know.
But she also since the 70s, she's had a major hit every decade. Her nickname is the Princess of Manga. And the reason it's the princess is because she's never married. And in an interview, they asked her, it's like, oh, do you plan on getting married? And she's like, I don't see the need. I make enough on my own. It's in 2000, she was one of the richest, like one of the richest women in Japan, like one of the richest people, but also one of the richest women. But she was the only one on that list of the women that didn't get their money from inheritance, that actually earned it themselves.
Wow, I like that. That's cool.
So
I didn't know that.
Inuyasha, I love Inuyasha. The problem is it kind of suffers from Saturday morning cartoon syndrome with the same villain every week.
One I always
So
wanted to
she
get
has an
into
estimated
was,
net worth of 60 to
Bleach.
70 million.
Yep.
Damn.
Oh, so it's just Hunter x Hunter? Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, the X in the name you never say like Spy X Family, it's just Spy Family.
It's a
So what would I buy to read after? So Hunter x Hunter ended with spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, with Gon meeting his father, and then they tease this whole new world, and then I guess like he had health issues and he stopped writing the show.
Well,
so what would I buy? Where do I start?
I was gonna say someone in the chat can bring that up, because what happens is
One of our
he
8
went on
people.
hiatus, which is not uncommon because the same thing with Berserk. Because he just came off a hiatus.
Can his wife just finish it for him? Let him lay
Do
down.
you know who his wife is?
Sailor Moon?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was Josh trying to gatekeep me.
You really want to play Gatekeeper? I know how new you are.
No, Bunk plays Gatekeeper.
Bunk does play Gatekeeper.
He was hugely gatekeeping everything on our last stream.
Also, I got some beef with Bunk because he recommended a very good book, but now my IST order's on hold because they're trying to find said book.
In stock trades where your book's probably not in stock. That's my little jingle.
Jake, how long was your book on hold at IST? Which one was it? It was. Dang. Let's see. Apparently, I also gatekeep.
Okay, JP said, thanks for letting me know. I'll take a look in a bit. If we did, you can give it to your co-host fam.
Wait,
oh, true. Do I give it to Josh or do I give it to Jordan? Okay, Josh. Would you write me as a character with an arc if I gave you a sealed copy of Superman for all seasons?
I feel like our friendship should dictate that you should give this anyway. Especially I'm on here making classic content and even giving you show ideas, like opening up a whole new world of manga popular with you.
So you give us shit for asking our favorite artist if we can get rid of the embarrassing AI art mistake that I offers to pay you. And you say you're trying to get me to work for free.
Here's the thing.
You treat me like I'm that little orphan boy that says, please, sir, may I have some more? And he's like, more?
Josh, here's the thing. Here's the real shit kicker. You ready?
My free copy of Absolute Superman.
Josh, you ready for the real shit kicker?
Yeah.
That copy Jake already promised to me earlier, and he's 100% willing to throw to you. Josh, out of the hundreds of dollars of books that Jake has received, I've gotten 2 hardcover books.
Say what you want, man. I bring out the emotions.
Jordan has got 3 books.
Okay, Batman Abyss, one that hasn't come in yet, which is a trade paperback of
and Invincible.
Oh, and Invincible. Okay, I got Invincible.
And we haven't gotten hundreds of dollars.
Jake, look at your Absolute shelf and tell me how many boxes.
Oh, you mean of the commission stuff? Yeah, I offered you some of those Absolutes. I offered. I said, if you want, you can take them. And you said, nah, man, they're yours. Don't make me out to be a fucking monster. Okay, you know what? I'm telling the story of mine and Jordan's fight. Me and Jordan finally had a fight.
Oh my god, it was. You guys want to hear the story
funny. Of our fight?
It's such a lame fight too.
Okay.
It's the worst.
So I invite Jordan over. His Isabel was gonna help Jess make some T-shirts that say like groom and wife for our honeymoon with her cricket. So we go upstairs and I say we have 3 videos we're gonna film today. Video 1, was my top 5 DC Deluxe editions in my collection. Number 2 was I was going to do an overview of the Batman by Zdarsky. And then Jordan was going to do a video on the different formats to collect Watchmen, which I found very offensive to Alan Moore. Kind of felt like he was dancing on the corpse of Alan Moore's contract. But okay, we can do a video showing off the different formats of Watchmen.
Yeah, like we haven't
Moving
done
on.
a reading order of Watchmen, which is read Watchmen.
So we filmed the deluxe one, and then we go downstairs to eat because it's like roasting. It's like 100 degrees because the fancy lights. Because my lights are better than Jordan's. So moving on. Then we go upstairs. Jordan gets ready to film his Watchmen video. And I go, cool, man. So do you have an outline or a script? And he goes, nah, I think I know what I'm going to say.
That's not what I said, but okay. Keep going.
And I was like, okay, cool. Cool, man. And then he just goes, he gets on his phone and he starts browsing.
You're such a
And I'm like, dude, we got to film. And then I'm like, hey, like, do you think maybe we should get another edition of Watchmen? Like, do you think we have enough? We only have like 6 versions or something. And he's like, I want the annotated Watchmen. And I was like, okay, man, cool. Like we can do that. And I was like, we should get the collected editions of Watchmen, right? So we order the books. I buy a book, he buys a book. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So let's do the Zdarsky video by Batman that I planned. And he goes, so who's gonna do it? And I respond, who's gonna do the video that I planned? And he's like, yeah, I mean, you could do it, I could do it, or we could do it together. And he starts blinking at me, and his blinking has noises. He's like, blink, 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 blink. So I go, okay, cool. So Jordan, what is your angle, or what is like the idea? Like how are we doing it together? What does it look like? And he goes, I don't know. And I was like, okay, because like I kind of have an idea already. I have a formula, like we have a routine. And he is like, so you don't want to do it together? I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we don't have to do it together. I'm just asking how. What does it look like? There's not really a lot of room back at this table. There's only one chair. Isabel has given Jordan so many books. It's crazy.
There's a good pro in there.
So moving on. Then it gets awkward. And there's awkward silence.
I'm sorry, I zoned out there. You were talking?
Okay. So there's awkward silence. And I go, do you just want to go downstairs and hang out with the girls? And he goes, we could. And then he gets quiet and he's like, okay, I'm going to do the video. And I'm like, my video? You're going to do my idea? Now, Jordan, tell your... And so basically, we got into like, he put me in a position where I couldn't say, yes, I would like to do my video that I planned. And yes, Isabel is a real one.
She is the real one.
You should marry her, man.
Eventually.
Don't put that on him, Billy Ray. Don't do
Why
that.
would you buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free?
Oh. First of all, okay.
Well, maybe because your best friend married the cow.
After they met 4 months after you met.
4 months or 4 years, bro.
It's such
you guys were dating years before us.
That's a phenomenal joke. I love that joke so much. Do you see what happens when Jake gets full control and he can manipulate his side of the story? Okay,
now, Jordan, what's your side of the
I'm
story?
going to say the concise version because yours was long-winded. I'm exhausted from hearing it. All right.
Him?
He removed me. I'm back.
Petty bitch.
I'm gonna say udders. And aren't cows women?
Holy shit! There's Omnidog's got nothing on you.
You know what? I think Omar said it best. Jake and I have an interesting relationship.
Yeah,
and I love it.
And you know who said it best? Reaper or whoever was that said, Jordan, you're a really nice guy. I don't like how the other guys pick on you. I think unless you learn to be more assertive, you're never gonna get any respect in this world.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the like 3-minute version of this story.
Oh god.
Okay. So we record the video, the first video for Jake, and I'm like, okay, cool. We go down, we eat, we come back. So we come back upstairs and we're sitting there, and I set up for my Watchmen video. I pull out all the books, I have them on the table, the camera's ready, everything's set. So I go, because Jake was procrastinating, took a little while to get upstairs. So I'm like, okay, we'll shoot the Watchmen one next. So I'm ready. I'm sitting at the desk. And Jake goes, oh, so what's your plan? And I go, well, I don't have a plan. I typically I go straight on for my videos and I edit them down so that they work. Which that's just how I film my videos. I don't typically have a structure besides the main points I want to hit. So whatever, I'm mostly ready to go. And Jake goes, oh, do you know what would have been a great one to have? It would have been great if you had the Watchmen box set. And I go, oh, I didn't even know there was a box set still in print. And he's like, yeah.
It's kind of in print.
And he and he pulls it up. He's like, yeah, this one. I'm like, I'm not buying that one. But you know what I did want that I didn't buy for this video? The annotated edition. That would have been a great ad. And Jake juices me up and he's like, oh yeah, you should have got that one. Or whatever, right? And he's like, you know what? Because I buy the annotated edition because I want it for my personal collection, besides for the video. So Jake's like, okay, and I'll buy this one. And I'm like, sure. So he buys that. I buy that, mine. So my video's on hold now, right? So then Jake's just sitting there. And he's like, it's hot up here. I'm cooking in this room. He's like waving himself with his shirt, trying to cool down. And I'm like, okay, that's sure. Yeah, it's hot. He's like, we should go downstairs and just hang with the girls. I'm like, hey, yeah, we can go downstairs if you want. That's cool. Or we can shoot the other video. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then it comes up to the point where I'm like, we should shoot it. And I ask him, I'm like, so do you want to record the video? Or do you want us to record it? Or do you want me to record it? There's not at no point Jake has said
3 minutes.
I got 1 minute. At no point Jake has said, like, oh, I've written a script for this video. How long have we known each other?
The answer is too long.
Time. A long
too long.
time. So Jake gives up and he's like, let's go downstairs. And I go, okay, well then I'll record the video because I want to pump out another video.
Wait, no. Why are you skipping past the whole where you said, I would like to do it together? And I said, cool. What does that look like? And you go, oh.
I said, I don't know how it would work because I don't know how to fit 2 chairs behind the desk because it's this tiny little desk. And it ended at that. And we were silent. And I said, okay, I'll film the video because Jake had given up and he's going to go downstairs. He was like, okay, well, what do you have planned for it? And I'm like, nothing. I didn't prepare to make this video, but I wanted us to do it together.
I asked you, Josh. I said, would you
Josh, we gave you the option.
I said, if you want to actually schedule an actual interview, I will write very good, insightful questions after I tell ChatGPT to write them.
Chat, I'm going to tell you the real thing that happened. So we just finished the first video. We went downstairs. Yes.
Josh is getting it. So to end it, I go, okay, I'll do it. And then Jake gets defensive. Don't forget the part about the shirt part. I don't remember the shirt part either. I think it was something that I was trying to gaslight you on at the end. So I'm gonna.
Oh, you did gaslight me about something, and I called you out on it, and you started just fucking lying through your teeth. You said something wrong, and I corrected you, and then you said, "Oh, no, I said it correctly."
Can you imagine if they had actual stakes? Like if they were in charge of a media empire?
Right? That'd be crazy.
Are we not? We have the Brave and the Boys TikTok, the Brave and the Boys Instagram, the Brave and the Boys YouTube.
So then Jake starts going off and complaining to Jess, his girlfriend Jess. He's like, Jordan's gaslighting me and
Jordan,
he's stealing my video.
Fiance, and I would like you to respect that. I know you don't respect the institution of marriage, You've never wanted to buy the cow, but I did.
Isabel.
Just keep in
Isabel.
mind who's calling the
Isabel.
respected other a
Can
cow.
we get the fight of Isabel versus Jake?
I still have my money on Isabel.
Oh, I still got my money on Isabel. I'm Team Isabel.
Like Isabel v me, I got my money on Isabel. I ain't losing that bet, hands down.
Okay, you get 60 seconds left of the story, and then we're going back to Josh because I have.
Oh,
more
I'm
questions
I'm about done. Jake started to complain to Jess like how I'm stealing his video, and I was like, I wanted us to do it together. I didn't want to do it by myself. And then after he tells Jess, he then proceeds to tell Isabel the entire story again. And then Isabel sided with Jake.
So I had to really.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got some questions here because I feel like Jess. I feel like Jess is the sweet, kind one. Like she's always like the one that's like, guys, let's not have a fight. Like let's get along. Am I wrong in that? Like she seems
that's
like
correct. And then Isabel is like, right. Fuck him up, Jordan's stupid. That's who.
That's exactly. Yeah, that sounds about right. So she loves me, but she loves to hate me.
But out of curiosity, is it like the default for Isabel? It's like, oh, Jordan's the fuck up.
No,
Sure.
jokingly.
But I'm saying like, if there's an argument, it's like Jordan, what did you do? Not Jake.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Gotcha.
How do we explain the joke to James? He's asking about Jess's milk.
Well, you see,
the milk is all that she does for me.
If it has nipples, it could be milked.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Okay, so back to Bang. Why is there more after where I left off on the PDF? Because it left off on a literal cliffhanger.
You mean the fact that
Josh isn't interviewing us; he's moderating us.
Pretty much.
This is couples counseling.
Pretty much.
Oh my god!
I'm the therapist.
You'll have some weird sexual tension. Like Corey would go nuts on you two.
It's because he's always queer baiting me.
Were you there during the story when Jake kissed me?
Yeah, and I've heard that multiple times.
Jordan, why don't you use your therapy degree to admit why you're always queer baiting me?
We're not getting into the queer baiting. So, okay. Josh, can you tell us more about your paneling design and how you decide your layout?
Where did the inspiration for the hat come from?
James, I'm going to use you on this one. Could you look up the failed pitch for a Nickelodeon cartoon about the British 1960s modders? Long story short, I just watched that and I was looking at like some
Fandango?
No.
That's a good one. Oh, is it the mod something?
It's the mod something. Like literally there's just a
picture. What is it called? Yeah, it's a British show, right?
It's an American cartoon, but it was designed after the British. So I was looking at like some British stylings and actually
the mod squads will comes up first. That's funny. What is it called? The mod.
Which one would be under suits and
I know what you're talking about.
Like I could find it, but I don't want to be Google searching. Let's see. Come on.
Yeah, we've learned the hard way. Like when I was telling Jordan about the Preacher TV show and I tried to Google Arseface, that was a bad mistake.
Thank God we didn't do live shows then. They were all pre-recorded.
Well, I'm not seeing any of this money, so I do not care about fucking demonetization.
I don't think I can monetize it because Jordan cursed several times.
Fucking A.
Yeah,
Jordan,
me.
Where are you? Come on. Yeah, this is a whole board just on fashion. Okay. Come on. Where are you? Come on. The problem is, I swear I just saw it, and now it's like disappeared on me. Anyway, because the other thing I was looking at was like British. So definitely like this character here from Kill la Kill was an inspiration for the hat.
Oh yeah, the band leader, whatever her name is. I don't remember what her name is.
But the other thing was, it was definitely looking at British like cops, and especially their rain gear.
You can say the Bobbies?
I think that's what it was. Ooh.
Was it Mad Mod?
No. Oh, let's see.
Google time.
James failed me. Of course, he should be in bed by now.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Top Cat.
Sonic EXE.
Okay, so
I should have this prepared. It was, but it is British, like definitely British styles.
we're gonna pull it back up when you find it. We're not gonna just freebase Google image.
Not again.
Josh
Not
never
again.
said whose side he was on. Whose story do you believe, and who was right and who was wrong?
my allegiance comes with a price, and since Jake technically pays that price on my Patreon,
That's fair. I would go to whoever paid me to.
I think you both are adorable and pretty.
Oh, thanks.
I feel like isn't Patreon only like $3 or something like that? Like with Girl Map, anything under $5 is free.
With Girl Map.
Yeah, Girl Math. Like
Girl Map.
Like if you buy concert tickets 6 months in advance, by the time the concert rolls around, it's free. Or if you already have $20 in your Starbucks account when you get to Starbucks, that money's free.
Sounds kind
or
of sexist.
That sounds extremely sexist.
It is like the biggest TikTok trend right now.
Oh.
So not exactly, but wait, pull me back up.
Yeah, you're up.
So this kind of like this look right here, especially like the Japanese, but it's like the British coats had something similar.
I see it.
Because originally, like, she had all these metal bits, and then I realized, I'm like, man, that's a pain to draw every panel.
What if her costume is alive?
Then
Do you guys know what that's in reference to?
Then I'm a bad writer named Todd McFarlane. And don't get me wrong, like, I know Renee's here. I like Spawn. Todd McFarlane is amazing at a lot of things. Writing is not his strongest suit.
He always sounds like he's griffing something. Like I watched some of his streams at Comic-Con. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have the most Spawn you've ever seen. Spawn's gonna be the king, like the main character in a new video game, but I can't say what it is. And you're gonna get Spawn everything." And like, I'm just like, okay.
This is the character he was talking about from Kill la Kill.
Yep.
Is that the one where they're? What's the one where it's like the Squirrel Girl uniform is
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. Was there ever more than the one season?
No. Also,
You mean this?
What are you, me?
So what's funny is because I have you guys up on my laptop and there's a slight delay. There it is. Actually another if you want to get into anime, Studio Trigger is one I'm a huge fan of.
Oh, it's my go-to. Anything Trigger makes, I'll watch.
Okay, Jordan, Little Witch Academia.
On the list. On the list. The most recent thing I've watched from them was their Star Wars episodes.
Still haven't seen that. I need to.
They're pretty good. I like from the season 1. Season 1 had my favorite one. After that, I watched Pyro. What's it called? Pyro something.
Yeah. Did you watch Cyberpunk?
It's on the list as well. I just renewed my Netflix subscription, so I could watch it.
I was about to say I canceled mine too because I had it for my parents mainly. So when they're like, "Oh, password sharing," I'm like, "Screw you."
Yeah, same. Same. But I was like, oh, there's a couple things. Like I wanted to watch Arrested Development again. I have Cyberpunk on my list. But yeah, I love their art style. It's one of my favorites.
So I'm not joking. Like this is 100% serious. I cried at Little Witch Academia.
I gotta move it up then.
Because here's the thing too. Like Little Witch Academia is literally someone in Japan went, this Harry Potter looks good. What if we just make our own? Like it's legit Harry Potter. Like no ways
Have a
around.
good night, friend.
See ya, and we promise not to kill each other. We've moved on from our spat.
Loki, I'm kind of tired. Do you two just want to keep doing the stream by yourselves? Talk about all the anime you want?
Sure, it's only
Sure.
midnight. Slacker.
Okay. Good night, guys.
See you, Jake.
Jordan,
Jake,
does it let you in? Does it let you in the stream?
Yeah, I have an end broadcast option.
Okay, I just didn't want like a 7-hour stream of just my bookshelf.
So
No,
fun
that'd be
fact,
great though.
I think you can go up to like 47 hours before you get in trouble. Like you can do X amount of stream before you get in trouble.
Nice. So what I do is I don't end the stream, and you guys just watch me sleep over there, and then Jake's book background for the next like 2 days.
There was there was a guy who used to draw Hulk in the 90s. He got like super drunk on his stream and fell asleep. And like
And he got in trouble for that, right?
yeah, it was one of the saddest things I've ever seen because it's like, oh my
James.
Jesus Christ.
She could be watching.
Oh, James killed it tonight. Thank you, James. I love that.
You know what the problem is? We said fuck too many times because James realized like, oh, there's no bar, so I will come out in force.
Wait, why isn't she here?
Also, Jess, if you ever watch this, which I hope you don't, you have the patience of Buddha. Thank you for putting up with Jake.
She's an educational therapist for kids with learning problems, and I think she practices at home with me.
No one should have to practice work at home.
That's definitely why I'm still Jake's friend.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm all just research for the book he's writing.
Yeah. He is my expose that I will attribute my life's work to.
Jake, I appreciate you as a human and not as a test subject.
You know what? I think that I got my money's worth from that comment.
that $3 a month really just solidified right there. That was it.
I like how my Patreon's now become. It's like, yeah, I guess I got my money's worth.
Right, for all Patreon users or anybody that subscribes to you on Patreon, they automatically get an hour and a half minimum of your time every month, right?
That's no.
I did have one last question before I go. What did you do for your birthday?
Honestly, there's two things. I years ago started taking off my birthday, so I never work on it. And my birthday this year fell on a Tuesday, so I was like, I don't want to work on a Monday. So I hung out with some friends on Saturday, did the hard boil stream on Sunday on NMC, which was a lot of fun. I then just like hung out, played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and drew Bang, which is what I wanted to do. So it was definitely a low key birthday. And I have a friend, he's taking me out to lunch on Friday. So it's
That's
like
Nice.
So it's interesting because like a lot of people are like, oh, are you going out and doing something big? And it's like, no, and I'm kind of fine with that. Especially because a lot of my friends right now are getting ready for Dragon Con, and a lot of my friends are in film and television, so not a lot of work going around these days.
Well, dude, it was great. If you ever want to do an actual interview where I have like a week or two to write questions, because I do have a process, you know.
Why weren't you ready tonight? Why can't you do this? Why can't you have the character sketch prepared? Where's the script? I have the book. Yeah, you see how it is?
I would like an email of the script, though. That would help me in my short making process. Is there a Patreon tier for scripts?
I probably should. Honestly, all my scripts are just from OneNote. Because I think, I sent a photo on your Discord.
You did, but I need the file.
Yeah, you're
I
not
can
getting
just
that.
copy and paste it. I need to copy and paste it into ChatGPT to make my script for the short.
That's definitely why you're not getting it.
And that was it for Jake. Good night, Jake. You have a great.
Oh, you can kick him, Jordan. You can kick him out.
Wait, Jordan, can you add yourself back?
Damn right I can.
Ah.
I've had control the whole time. But I definitely knew that.
In fact, I might take it away right now.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Good night, guys. Keep reading and stay brave. And tomorrow morning, check out the latest video done by your two brave boys.
It's the one that we actually did.
Amazing. I love our partnership. Jordan clicks the record button on the camera, and then I do the video and the editing and the uploading and the thumb. How about this? Should I show the thumbnail before I go, and then I'll go? Let me show you guys the thumbnail.
Yeah. Let's see it. I don't think I've seen this one either.
Also, I love how you're like, Josh, what have you given me lately? I've been drawing on here the stream this whole time. Like, what
Josh has been providing the true content for this entire.
But aren't we gonna get content stricken by Webtoons when it goes live someday?
It's not a Webtoons original.
No, they don't have any. I own all the copyright.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what though? I will strike this now just because Jake mentioned it.
5 best DC Deluxe editions.
Wow, that is the laziest pixelization I've ever seen, Jake.
Dude, I thought it was charming.
Well, the top one, what is that? Batman Knight?
Oh my god.
Nope. You'll have to watch to find out.
One of those are the Webtoons.
Yeah, it is. It's Superman versus Mushy.
Hey, James, do your thing. Which 5 are those?
Ooh, that's a good one. James has enough content. He doesn't need to see it again.
If you zoom in, the bottom one and the top one are obvious. I also think the second to the bottom one is also obvious.
Oh, yeah.
I like your howdy, kid.
You can see the name of the bottom one. JLA.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why do you have like you have like one giant pixel missing on the bottom?
See what happens when I don't review.
Ready for how lazy this was? I didn't even use a pixel effect. I just went to Canva and found a pixel image and made it yellow.
I could see. I could see your fucking mic stand. You just drew.
So, kids, this is why you hire a graphic designer. I know spending money on art seems like a pain, but you avoid moments like this.
Oh my god!
I made it in 5 minutes, and you know what?
Oh,
it is what it is.
Oh,
there we go, Valzad.
Oh, maybe you'll have to watch tomorrow.
Also, this whole interview, this whole stream, I've been giving you grief, and I like how you're surprised now at the end that I'm still giving you grief.
Too much grief. I keep trying to add it. Stop taking it away, Jordan.
I keep trying to add it. Oh my god.
Okay. My last question before I go is
42.
Josh, will you ask Jordan why he used AI to make our logo of the two Batman Superman AI ripoffs? I want to know his answer. I want him to look in the eyes of an indie artist and explain himself.
I'm waiting for Josh to ask.
So Jordan, which is your favorite anime? It sounds like ATC.
Oh yeah, so my favorite. Bye, Jake. James brought it back with the cow again. Oh, that's so good. Why doesn't Tower of Babel have an absolute? I don't know. I think it definitely deserves an absolute. It's a phenomenal story. The art's pretty good in it. Yeah, definitely think it deserves one. Favorite anime. Oh, that's a tough one for me. Probably AOT.
I won't want.
Probably.
I didn't get to tell Jake this. What's funny is when I first watched that, I hated that show because I'm like, this is so dumb. Because I only watched the first episode. Then a friend of mine's like, because I'm like, every answer, like, there's just keep watching. And I did keep watching, and it gave a lot, like, it hooked me. And I'm like, fuck.
It takes a while to really get into the meat and bones. Okay, so here's the thing. AOT for me, I got hooked on the first season because if I remember right, the first season was ending when I started watching it, and I was a teenager in high school. So I had that teenage angst, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry. I'm young. I can't help it. So I had that teenage angst. I'm like, yeah, anime, hot topic. This is cool. And it wasn't until I dropped off like during season 2 and then came back when season 3 was wrapping up that I really started to appreciate it. And I realized how boring season 1 is. Oh my God.
The problem, like, and I think the problem with like a lot of anime / manga has this problem. Whatever your first shonen title is, it's going to be your favorite.
Yeah.
Because the problem is there's good, like there's always good ones, but the more you read, you're like, oh, okay, I know this trope. So like, I know like poor Brand was forced to watch all of Fairy Tales, which is like I enjoy it because it's dumb, but it's not a good show.
That's one I never got into. I got recommended it once, and a YouTuber that I watched, I think he did voice acting for it, so it made me a little bit more interested. But I saw the amount of episodes and seasons, and I went, do I really want to get into it?
I won't lie. Okay, so Fairy Tales, that is a show where you're like, man, I got some dishes to wash. I got some, like, that is a good, like, just kind of background. Like, what Jake was talking about, that's Fairy Tales.
I get that. Now, my first anime that I started watching, or that I watched, I finished it, was, oh my goodness, I'm starting to blank out on it. It's the one where you have meisters and then you have people that can turn into weapons. What is it called? Has Black Star in it, has Grim the Reaper, which is his son. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to blink. I just had the name.
Black Clover?
No. This was before Black Clover.
It's not Gundam Wing.
No, it has the moon with the face on it that laughs.
Oh, Soul Eater.
Soul Eater. Thank you. I've been watching it a long time. That. So, it's good.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard like some people love it, but I've also heard some people are like, "Yeah, it's an anime."
So that's the thing is, from what I remember, it's good. I also haven't seen it in like a decade. So I don't know if it's good because I'm remembering that it's good or because it actually is. But yeah, that was my first one that I watched, and it introduced me, and I was like, I get it. I'm starting to get it. Which, Josh, what was your first anime?
So I came back in the way back time. So what's interesting for me was like there was Pokemon, there was a bunch of shows, but like a friend of mine, I guess the first one I ever saw was Dragon Ball, but I didn't realize it was anime at the time because I was sleeping over at a friend's house and it came on at like 5:30 a.m. So I was like, nice. What is this? Because like same thing with like Sailor Moon. I didn't realize that was actually like from another country. I just thought, oh my god, it's Sailor Moon.
You saw the dubs showing, and you're like, oh yeah, it's a cartoon. It's just another thing that's on.
There were no subtitles, and this was back when this was back in the day when they would re-edit stuff. So like when Pokemon first came out, because it's like they show a rice ball and they're like, oh, a jelly donut.
Yes. I just went back recently and rewatched the first season of Pokemon. And it's good. It's funny.
I'm not kidding though, because I do recommend the Pokemon manga because that thing is a lot of fun.
It is, and you know what? So like I said, my first anime that I watched is Soul Eater, but that was my first like intentional anime. Like I'm going to sit down and watch it. Of course I had exposure to anime as a kid. I watched Dragon Ball. I remember seeing the Namek arc on TV and like just jumping ahead randomly because I would never consistently would watch it. So like I would see like a kid Goku and then an adult Goku and then a kid that looks like Goku but it's not Goku.
I'll just say because the other one for me was Princess Mononoke was a big one.
Okay, yeah, Studio Ghibli films I saw as well. Like I saw, I am blanking on names hard right now. Castle in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Castle in the Sky was my like childhood Studio Ghibli film, which I own it on Blu-ray. It's somewhere. I don't know now, but yeah.
So this is a little fun fact. I got to spend 2 weeks in Japan and got to go to the Ghibli Museum.
Oh, that's so cool.
Fun fact, though, I didn't see any of the movie except for Princess Mononoke. It was the only movie I saw. So it definitely was like, I need to go watch these because these are gorgeous.
So James says, I think my first anime was Little Nemo Adventure in Slumberland.
And that definitely gets interesting because if we're going that route, then technically The Last Unicorn was mine. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
So one, it's Melanie's like one of her favorite books. But that one, man, that cartoon's crazy because that was made back in the 80s when they literally, like, this is not made for kids, but somehow they're like, yeah, I guess kids can watch it. But the other crazy thing is that studio, once they were finished, because it was a Japanese studio, Miyazaki hired them and they became Studio Ghibli.
Ah, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because what it used to be back in the day was like American cartoons, like the intro to Thundercats is Madhouse.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love Thundercats.
Dude.
It's my favorite.
Dude.
Thundercats and He-Man were my shit.
See, I've never liked I liked the remake of He-Man. I never liked the OG He-Man, but Thundercats, that was my jam.
I watched the OG He-Man. Same thing, like sporadic episodes, which is fine. You don't need to watch He-Man in a consistent linear story. But I remember as a kid, He-Man got not remastered. There's a new run, a new run for the 2000s, and
that was my favorite.
I never got into it. I don't know why. I was a huge Cartoon Network kid too. So
that one was so good.
Yeah. Josh said his first experience to anime is the same as yours. Josh said,
"Nice."
I'm so tired.
Well, because the other crazy thing is for like my generation, even though it's like I'm not that much older than you, but it was Toonami. That was the big game changer.
Yeah, I would stay up and watch Toonami sometimes, but as soon as it became Adult Swim, I think I was too young, and I was like, "Oh, that's for adults," and I would dip off and I'd go to like Nick at Night or something. Which Run Me Through did say, I saw Dragon Ball at 5:30 a.m. I woke up hella early and I couldn't sleep, and I found it on TV. I had no idea what it was. Isn't that our experience to all anime at some point or another? You just jump in.
And I'm not like, it's kind of weird because I don't want people to go back to the battle days because literally like on the Reels talk with because I remember like buying the VHSs, which were 2 episodes for $40.
Woo.
Like Garlic Junior Saga was one of my favorite sagas just because I owned all of it on VHS.
Nice. I did myself the pleasure. So like I said, Dragon Ball was one where I would watch episodes sporadically, but I kind of knew the gist and the main story of it, especially because I would play the video games. I was really into the Dragon Ball video games. Now, I did myself the favor a couple years back and I watched everything of Dragon Ball.
Oh no!
Like the main, the original Dragon Ball series and Dragon Ball Z with filler. And I did myself the favor and I bought Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I don't think I can ever go back.
So, James, find this YouTube channel called Mr. Fusion. God, this is like, it's one of the most underrated channels because I think it's literally less than like probably less than 15K subscribers. But the dude has gone through and done a dissection of like all Dragon Ball, starting with the manga, then to the anime. Like he's now on to GT. Like he's been doing it for a decade.
GT's one I can't finish. I'm trying. I force myself to watch 1 or 2 episodes, and then I stop for a month or 2 months. Or
his problem, and I don't blame him because his problem is his whole channel's based. Like he also does Power Rangers.
Okay.
But it's like, it's like you got to go where your audience is. But especially, man, he breaks down like, oof. I agree with him on a lot of good points because, like, I still love OG Dragon Ball with like the more mystic side, all that. When it came to Dragon
It's
Ball Z,
fun.
Dragon Ball Z, like the Saiyan Saga and the Frieza Saga are still my favorite.
My absolute favorite is the Cell Saga. That's like the Frieza Saga or Namek / Frieza Saga was cool. It's just it's long, especially with the filler.
Child, I was there. I was so hyped when I almost missed Goku. So I used to tape those episodes when I wouldn't be there, and I was getting my hair cut. And I literally like came back in the house right after the like wrap up of the previous episode, and it was the episode that he finally went Super Saiyan.
Oh,
And
that's
here's the
the
thing.
best.
I think it's two things. One, I feel like those fillers in anime prepared me for other shit. Because when people are like, One Piece, I'm like, you don't know.
That's one that I haven't jumped into because same thing, the length. It's just one of my friends, his name's Nestor. He keeps telling me like at least twice a month he'll call me and go, "You should watch One Piece," and I go, "No."
So,
before I keep going and we talk, let me go into the chat just real quick.
Yeah.
Valzad, he said my fist was either Ponyo or My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, he missed first.
I've never seen Ponyo mainly because that fish creeps me out.
Oh, it's Josh. I'm sorry, I don't know you as well. Do you have kids or anything? No. Okay.
There's a reason why I'm up here at 1 a.m. with you.
True. Ponyo is an adorable kids movie. Like even as an adult, you can enjoy it. That's not an issue because it taps into that like childhood wonder and seeing the bigger world. It's a beautiful movie. I teared up towards the end. It's just so cheerful and hopeful. There's not like an antagonist of Ponyo. I'd recommend it.
The weird because it's like I love My Neighbor Totoro because the thing with like Ghibli film, like, and this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, but it's not because like some of the best Ghibli films like don't really have a plot. It's more like, hey, we're going to enjoy this mood or this environment.
Mm-hmm.
The technical thing is a vibe, but I feel like that gets over. I feel like that's saying
that's the word that Jake would use right now. Which Jake left early because he loves Studio Ghibli films. He has the Radish Man from Spirited Away tattooed on him.
Oh man, I have a good collection of their art books, but yeah, because I feel like I love Studio Ghibli. I feel like they're a little bit overrated, and when I say overrated, because I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love Ghibli." It's like, cool. Have you checked out other anime? How dare you, sir? It's like,
that's
like,
hilarious.
Have you ever seen Sakoshi Kai or Sakoshi? Oh, crap! I'm not pronouncing his name right because he did Paprika, Perfect Blue, Tokyo Godfathers.
No, that one. No, I'm sorry. That one I haven't. I don't know of.
So those are all movies. Do you like horror?
I do. Yeah.
So Perfect Blue is like one of the best horror ones I've ever seen.
Perfect Blue. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
And you've seen Inception, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Homeboy literally bought the movie rights to Paprika and just made a live version of that called Inception.
Okay. I gotta check it out then.
The crazy thing is, because the guy used to do manga, but he's known for his directorial. He decided to go into animation because he can make cuts quicker in animation than he could in live action because the eye can read. And it's like, it's some of the most, he is one of the best directors of all times. And unfortunately, we lost him because of cancer.
That's always brutal. It's always.
But yeah,
damn.
Did you ever see Requiem for a Dream?
I know the story of it. I know the twist in it, but I never watched the movie itself.
I was gonna say I can't recommend it, but I'm not even joking. A lot of the shots, like same thing. The guy bought the movie rights to I think it was Perfect Blue, just so he could fake some of the shots.
Okay. I'll check them out. That sounds super interesting. I like that kind of stuff.
I feel like Koshi, what's his name? Hey, James did find it. Aha.
Yes, I was gonna say, James pulled it up, Mr. Fusion, and then run me through. Now that Jake is gone, Jordan, what did you think of the album I sent? Dude, that is hardcore of an album. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Now, what I did want to do, because you sent it to me, and I like it when, I mean, it's cool. Like, I think it's crazy that people would like this channel enough to send stuff to us. I wanted to go through and like list my tracks that I'd like the most out of all of them, but you know, I haven't had the opportunity to do that. But I did want to eventually. I did really like your intro to the album, which is like kind of, I don't know if you've heard it, James, but Remy Through has his own like band, and the intro to his band is to his album is man sitting at a fireside telling a story of, if I remember right, I think it was like swashbucklers or seamen.
So wait a minute, run me through.
Really cool.
Is this on the YouTubes?
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube comments.
No, but I'm saying it's his album on the YouTubes.
I don't know if it is. Let me here. I have it on my computer. Let me pull it up real quick.
Also, I'm a little bit curious because I feel like, because as we all know, like YouTube jumps on like if you play unlicensed music, like that's a quick way to get demonetized. I'm wondering if it's like if that has hurt the music scene,
right?
Because it's like I remember like don't look it up. I think it's even off there. I was debating about like trying to do more vlogs and stuff, and I did one for like Ozzy's Black Rain album. And I was like reviewing it, and I was giving it high marks. And at the end, it was like one of his shorter songs. It was like 2 minutes or something. But I'm like, I really love the song. I think it's encapsulated. You know, you should check this out. So I played it. Well, I got like a copyright strike, so I was like, well, I'm not doing any more of these. Which part of me is like, I get it, but it's also like I'm not like aping. Like I did a 5-minute review and then played like 2 minutes of song. You know, you're like, I'm clearly like trying to help you guys out.
Yes.
I don't know.
So real quick, yes, I did pull it up on YouTube. Yes, I know. So I pulled it up. It is William Wallace is the name of the band, and the album is How Gods Are Made. Sorry, I wanted to pull it up on YouTube to see if it was on here, so I could always send it over. But yeah, it's also on Spotify. It's on Apple Music.
Nice.
And then yes, it's a concept album, so the songs aren't songs; they're chapters, and I wrote, and it's all one continuous thing, no breaks, which is true, and I love it because I'm able to play it on no gap playback, so it all just flows together. And then yes, everything is broken down into a chapter. So you have chapter 1 through chapter 11, and each one has its own title, which is pretty cool. I would check it out if I were you. If you like metal music, I should say.
So, fun fact: if you're paying attention at home, you can tell I'm tired because I am inking on the wrong layer.
Which, if you like, Josh, you're always free. We could end the stream if you like. I know it's early, it's like really late for you.
It's a couple things. One, I do want to at least get part of this done. 2, I'm actually enjoying this. 3, long story short, my schedule is slightly different tomorrow, so I'm working 3 to midnight, which is a rarity. So, I can sleep in.
Nice. I get to wake up bright and early at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Ooh, fuck that.
Yeah, that's my schedule Monday through Friday. 5:30 a.m. is when I wake up because I need to be. I work in Rialto, but to give you an idea, it's like a minimum 30-minute drive from my place to there. So yeah, I get to wake up early and drive to school so I can go be a therapist all day. Fun stuff.
I was gonna say, do you want to talk about bullshit or get into the real life thing?
I'm always down for any discussion. Yeah, it's a free reign. Now that Jake's not here, like moderating this conversation and throwing allegations and accusations everywhere, we can talk about whatever we want, man.
You both are so petty.
Extremely. And that's how we thrive off of each other.
No, I was curious because I know you got like 2 jobs and you're going to grad school. So,
yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's the goal?
Sure. So, and I've said it, I think a lot of times on stream. I don't really talk about it in videos, but my current position right now is I'm a behavioral therapist, which I'm a third party therapist. So I don't work. How do I say? I work for a company that works with insurances,
But you're
and
not
we get
connected.
sent to
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not freelance essentially. I'm with a company. Um, Now, my main position, and it's because I'm very well known in the Rialto school district, is I typically am a school behavioral therapist. So I work one to one with one person, and we work on goals of like either social ability or working on certain behaviors, things like that. So like that's what my main job is. Besides doing that, I do still have another client that I work with after that. So my days are typically around like 10 to 11 hours long, and that's Monday through Thursday.
Because I was about to say, because don't you have a weekend job still though, right?
Yes. So Monday through Thursday is about 10 to 11 hours. Fridays are 7.5 hours because I don't have my other client on Fridays. And then I still have the weekend job. So on the weekends, I am an auto technician at Best Buy. So I'll work in cars doing things like installing radios, speakers, amplifiers, fixing fuses, things like that. Which that's my fun job because I enjoy doing things like that, kind of like handiwork essentially.
I was going to say, like, you have to use a different set of your mind because you're not
Mm-hmm.
like social, like, especially it's like you're probably not talking as much. So in some ways, it's probably like a nice
So
break. 'Cause you're
yeah,
getting,
the cool thing about that weekend job or working there is I'm really cool with the people that work there. So there's in total, if you include me, there's 4 auto techs inside of one bay, which is giant for Best Buy. Most Best Buys have no auto techs, or they have 1, maybe 2. So I work in essentially like the biggest auto bay in my entire area. Um and I get to hang out basically with 3 guys, and we get to work on cars all day.
but you don't get so you don't have a day off though.
No, I do not have a day off unless, like, for instance, this last weekend, I didn't ask to work. And because of that, they didn't schedule me. Now, there are times where I get scheduled and they're like, hey, we need you this weekend. And there's times where they're like, or I have to ask and I go, hey, can I work this weekend? Because if I want additional hours or pay or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, essentially, I'm working 6 to 7 days a week.
Oof, that is brutal,
And then,
bro.
I know. It's been crazy, and that's kind of why I put a pause on my videos on the channel, at least for the last like month or so. Just adjusting. My workload's gonna lower, so like I'm not gonna have my client after school anymore. So that should free up more time for me, which yeah, I think I need.
Yeah, because like oof. So back in Yield Day, so I did work for Tidal Wave Comics or Blue Water Comics back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, they screwed me out of 2.5 years worth of work. I've never seen a dime of it. So the problem with that, like, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I need to have work. But the other
Mm-hmm.
problem is I'm like, oh, my resume looks shitty. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, so I bounced around jobs and I ended up doing graphic design at a local mom and pop place. But the problem was like I moved into a place which was I could afford it at the time, but the other problem was, rent goes up, and then all of a sudden you're like you can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing graphic design, but I was also washing dishes Friday and Saturday night, 7 to 3 a.m. at the AMC Dine and Fork.
Mm-hmm.
One, I have had a strict rule ever since then. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I love those dining. I'm like, ooh, I've seen how they prepare food. I would not recommend, like, go to a restaurant, go to a movie theater. Don't do the combination.
Jake loves AMC for especially for the dining. He gets the the Bavarian or the Bavarian pretzel, something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah, he loves AMC. And my sister just got a job at AMC recently, and she straight up told me, she's like, never order food from there. Just don't do it.
Man, I wish I could remember them. There was a cook we had there. He gave like the most grand, elegant speeches about crack. Because like one of them was, I'm not even joking, because he's like, bitches will leave you, You know, they'll take your money, leave you in the streets, but you know who'll be there when you're rock bottom? Crack.
Nice.
And it's like, we get it. You sell
Substance
drugs.
abuse. Oh my god, that's so good. I love it.
Oh, but yeah, it's one of those. Man, it sucks though that it's like like I was going to joke that it's like, oh yeah, you work for a school, no wonder you have to have 2 jobs. But it's like in some ways that is the truth.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. Especially California kind of sucks. So yeah. Yeah, I have 2 jobs. I'm hoping so I brought it up earlier in the stream. I was working on my RBT training, or registered behavioral technician training, because I get a pay bump as soon as that's done. So my goal right now is to get my pay bump for getting that certification. And then while I'm applying to grad school, hopefully I can start in January and then just drop Best Buy.
Yeah, because I feel like one advice like I've talked to people about, because it's like no matter what company you've worked at, there's a time before you and there will be a time after you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's like even if you enjoy a job, there comes a point where you're like, I have outgrown this.
Yeah, you got to move on at some point. In which, like, I'm already there because I used to be a very good salesman at Best Buy before I was in the auto tech bay, and then I realized how like monotonous it is to work sales, and trying to move up in an industry like that is just horrific, especially in this time of day.
Yeah, because I'm curious. Sorry. Yeah, I'm curious too, because it's like, I spend way too much online compared to brick and mortar, but it's so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a trap though too, because it's like, yeah, I've worked at stores like that where it's like, yeah, you get commissions, you can move up, but then it's like, okay, to move up, it's like you either have to know the right people, like it's a weird chess match, or like 30 people have to die.
So yeah, that's the issue, and that's to anyone that watches this stream for some reason, and I can like they listen to my advice. You have to keep in mind, like, sure, you have people like the general manager of a store or like the sales manager that are making close to 100K or over 100K a year, but that's one person.
Mm-hmm.
2 people maybe per store. So you're gonna fight your way tooth and nail in a sales industry where other people are fighting their way tooth and nail to try to move up. And typically those people have degrees in business because they're running a business. So like, yes, if that's what you're striving to be, 100% cool. But if you're like me, who got their degree in something else and you're just staying there because you're comfortable there, move on, dude. Move on. There's greater things.
And the thing is too, it's like it's a pain in the ass, and I hate doing it. But especially like, okay, so the company, and I won't say who, even though Eagle Eye could probably see it on my water bottle. But like the company I work for, they used to offer a pension, and when I joined, they got rid of the pension.
Of course, yeah.
Which it's like whatever. But yeah. I know X amount of people who are like, okay, I'm like halfway towards that pension, so it's like, yeah, stay in that job.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, because I've had many jobs though where it's like, go in, do the best job you can, but definitely look for something else.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Which, like, even what I do now as a behavioral therapist, or a BT, I'm gonna say that for short.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not even what I want to do. My end goal, and the reason why I'm looking to get into grad school, is I want to be a counselor or a therapist, essentially. Which I'm looking to do more one-on-one sessions in cognitive behavioral therapy. That's what my specialty I want it to be in. Which is similar to what I do now. What I do now is applied behavioral analysis, which is more behavior based on like everyday things and day to day. And it typically the clientele that you're working with are people with disabilities. Cognitive behavioral therapy is quite different, which with CBT, that one could be applied more liberally throughout life, and your clients can range from people with disorders to people without disorders. So it kind of broadens the horizon. So that's my main goal. And essentially, I want to be one of those people where you come, sit down, you talk to me about your problems. I can give you exercises, assistance, or even help do certain kind of analyses. But yeah, that's me. I've loved psychology for years. Since I was a teenager, I've always been interested in psych. So that's what I want to do and what I'm striving for by going to grad school. If a school would just accept me.
Which is, it's crazy in this day and age where it's like, well, if it makes you feel better. So I got my undergrad at SCAD, and my plan was at SCAD Savannah. My plan was to come up here to Atlanta and get my grad degree. I got turned down from that department 3 times, which it's like, it's weird because like in hindsight, because I think it might have been the best thing because I saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
And,
It's expensive.
yeah. Well, and I found out too, my mentor was a guy who taught the grad program. So I'm like, oh,
nice.
I can get this for free. I don't have a piece of paper, but it's like, okay. And I will say this because I know like every artist, it's always like, oh, do whatever you can to get rid of the day job. I actually like, it's not perfect, but I actually do enjoy my day job. And the one thing I'll say, like, I'm technically in a creative field, but like my day job's not that creative, which it sounds like a negative, but it's nice to be like, it's like, cool, I can come in here, do a good job, leave, and then draw this bullshit. Save my creativity for this.
Yeah. Which your work, I'm really enjoying it, Josh. And when are we gonna get that volume 2 though? Because I'll send you some PayPal money right now.
I'm looking at next year. Okay. I'm not gonna. I will be canon with you guys. I still have 2 boxes, so the faster I sell those, the better.
So what I'm hearing is, in all of the things we talk about in every episode of, like, our shirts, subscribing. I don't know what else does Jake talk about. Jake's the one that pushes all this stuff. I'm here for the fun. But yeah, in all that stuff, I'm gonna be. And don't forget to purchase your copy of Bang the Ballad of the Tiger from Josh Greyhouse.
Yeah, I just put, because I'm a mod here, I just put the where to buy it. No, it's like it's hard as an independent because like I remember I was chatting with a guy who, I won't say his name, like big name, like not big name in the industry, but he's been around forever, done a ton of stuff. But I was talking to him. I'm like, yeah, fussing around with this idea. I think I was at that point, like, I was like, yeah, I'm like working on 6 issues. Like, why would you work on 6 issues? He's like, what you do is, play around with like 1 issue, maybe a cover, pitch it around. If it doesn't sell, go on to the next thing. And it's like, it's crazy how many and it happens a lot. It's like a lot of great ideas kind of die because it's like, you got to make money. Like everything, especially, I think everyone can kind of relate nowadays. It feels like everything, like, it's like, oh my gosh, every minute it's going to cost me X amount to live.
That's like, that sounds very similar to, what's his name? Brandon Sanderson. He's an author. I don't know if you know who. He does like a really big series called Mistborn, and he has a bunch of stuff. But like his first idea, or at least the story that I've heard of it, is his first idea for a book. He threw it out there and no one would pick it up. But eventually he ended up getting other items picked up, and he got the opportunity recently to adapt a book, and essentially anything that he wanted to, into a comic book. And what he adapted was what his first idea was, which Near Mint did a video on it recently, and I can't remember the name of it. Actually, I might be able to pull it up. Or, hey, Josh, do you think James is still here?
No, I think the chat's kind of gotten. What is with you, chat? Come on.
Well, James, if you are still here, can you link to Omar's, like, it's Brian Sanderson's book. It's recent. It got like a deluxe or not deluxe, like a large print size. But yeah, essentially, it was August. Was it August?
That sounds right.
Maybe. Let me see. I guess I'll moderate it.
Let's
see.
No, I was talking to someone earlier about Isola, Isola. It's a book from Image, and it's like, cause she was excited. She's like, "Yeah, I bought every issue. I bought the trade paperbacks, and if a hardcover comes out, I'll buy that." And it's like, the sad truth is, it's like, yeah, you need like a good number of those fans just to get the chance of the like to give the hardcover a chance.
Yeah. It's sorry, real quick. It's White Sand. White Sand is the name of the book.
And I'm not trying, like, I love to like tease people about the big two, but it's like, because I bought Spider-Man Omnibus, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5. Because part of me is like, okay, I don't know when, but I know like 1 through 4. I'll get 1 through 4.
It's
like,
gonna come back eventually.
Yeah. Whereas with an indie book, it's like, this might be your only chance.
Yeah, really, that. Yeah, I get that 100%. And then just because we got chat in here, Psycho Cleveland linked to the OmniDog Discord. I would if I had a link. They won't invite me because I'm not even in my own. And then Run Me Through said he's playing Hyrule Warriors and listening to us talk. How sweet. I don't even watch my own videos typically.
I was going to say, because I've been playing, what's it called? Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I played like the first 6 missions, and I dropped off just because I don't game very much anymore. But how is it? Is it like the second part came out, right? Something like that?
They just announced the second part. It's kind of weird, and I say this because it's like, it feels like my childhood, because that was the first JRPG I ever played. So it's itching those like nostalgia it's scratching those nostalgic itches. But it's different, like in just enough ways where I'm like, this feels new. So it's this weird, like, it feels like I'm going home, but I'm not. I'm enjoying it though. So it's I'm enjoying it enough where it's like, man, I'm looking at getting some of the art books. And there you go, Cleveland. That, you know what? And I will add the boys Discord because I'm a moderator.
Yeah, you are. All the people with J names and bar are moderators. That was a funny joke for a while. Anyone that works on the channel has to have a J name. That's why we got the Unstoppable Jar.
Oh, James, how are you still up?
Oh, he is. Let me see. I'm glad you're enjoying the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have it in my collection, but my video game backlog is huge. I love video games. I wish I had the opportunity to play more. Just recently, like, I'll play a match of Call of Duty and be like, I'm done for a while.
Well, it's funny. Well, it's two things. One, a friend of mine got me the PlayStation Plus for Christmas. And I didn't realize, I'm like, ooh, we're in July. I need to start playing this more. Like,
have you been redeeming your games every month?
I don't think I have. Mainly because a lot of them I'm like, eh. But the other thing I've noticed, as a friend of mine, a different friend, texted me and he's like, "Oh, did you pick up Final Fantasy 16?" And I'm like, I can't afford a PlayStation 5. Then I sent him a photo of all my books, and it's like, yeah, that's where my money goes.
Yeah, it definitely. So, I've realized now, getting into my mid-adult or my mid-20s, my mid-adult life. Jesus Christ. I'm getting sleepy myself. It's like past my bedtime. Getting into my mid-20s, I've really started to realize that I can't do everything that I did in my teens. Like, I can't watch all the new movies and like the new TV shows and read comics and play video games and still go to school. I wish I had that time. That would be phenomenal, but I've really narrowed down my niches of what I do in my everyday life to reading books, reading comics, maybe watching a TV show. Maybe.
I was going to say, the other thing I've noticed, I feel like the other problem, so when you're younger, like, everything's new and fresh, even though you might not think of it. But the older you get, you're like, I've seen this movie before, or I've heard this, you know. And I
Yeah.
think like it's just kind of like, okay, what's your passions? Because like I have friends who used to read comics and do other stuff, but it's like video games is more their passion. So it's like that's the thing they kind of keep up on.
Yep, definitely. Like I'll catch a movie at the theaters maybe once a month, maybe, unless it's like a really big like the Barbie movie came out and whatnot. But
See,
yeah.
I'm gonna sound cheap. I stopped going to movies because it's just one of those, and I used to love the movies, but it's like between the price of the tickets and everything. But then I go and it's like, okay, I'm sitting next to someone with their phone, they're talking the whole time.
It's an event, so you gotta plan to go to the movies. It's not typically a spontaneous thing anymore. And I'll plan it out. So like I'll go to movies on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday because I don't want to deal with the busyness of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's see. Oh, James, go to bed. What time is it over there for you guys? Let's see, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it's like 1 a.m. for you. Go to sleep. I know I'll be asleep by then on my time.
Yeah, I like how it's like, poor James, it's 1 a.m. It's like it's 1 a.m. and I'm being entertaining.
Josh, I gave you an out.
I know. I'm also a night owl, so it's like, no, and it's like I said with movies though, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, because I saw John Wick in theaters, and I went on a Tuesday, but even then, it's like I bought an $11 ticket, which I'm like, that's a price I'm reasonable with. Luckily, it wasn't the Spanish subtitled one, but it was the subtitled version of the movie.
I was gonna say $11 for a ticket's a steal.
But what's crazy was too, like, one, because it was subtitled, it was subtitled a little faster than the dialogue. So like there were moments that kind of got ruined because you're like, yeah, okay. Two, oh my gosh, some of the like subtitles, because one of them was like it would talk about like what music's playing. And it would be like spaghetti western, and part of me is like, or like one of them was like, I forget it, like mention a new artist, like this kind of song, and I'm like, who? Like I don't know who this is.
That's fun.
But yeah, it's just one of those. You kind of get older and you kind of accept it's like, okay, I can't do everything, but let me enjoy what I can do.
Yeah, definitely. Which is, I think I settled on reading standard books and comic books. I think that's what I've settled into. I enjoy both, but I enjoy comics more, obviously, as per the Brave and the Boys YouTube channel. And bang, the Ballad of the Tiger. Hello, friend.
Have you met Abby?
I have not.
This is Abigail Buzzsaw Greathouse.
Ooh. I just got one myself.
Yeah, come October, it'll be 15 years.
Have I posted?
Nope.
Is Isabel's kitten in the Discord? Okay,
nope.
We gotta post it. We have a bunch of photos of it. So this is the way I say it. I allowed my girlfriend Isabel to get a cat.
Ooh. Is Isabel still in the chat? Because I would love to hear her side.
Yeah, I had a coworker who was like, hey, you were saying previously that you wanted to get your girlfriend a cat, or that she wanted a cat. And I was like, uh-huh. She goes, yeah, we have 4 kittens that we need to get rid of. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you know what? I'm open to it now. So I tell Isabel, I'm like, hey, my coworker has 4 kittens. If you wanted to take one in, like, that's cool. And she goes, yes. So I'm like, we're going back and forth, seeing like, do they have shots? Are they been neutered? Like stuff like that, right? And in that discourse this conversation between us, my girlfriend has the whole thing where she gets her sister hyped about getting a cat, and then now they have to bring it to their mom because they live at home, and their mom's like, no. So then Isabel's like, that made her want to get it more. So we start going and looking at cats at shop at like Petco's and whatnot. And I'm texting back my coworker, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we can go on like Sunday to go not pick up, but go look at the cats." Saturday, Isabel buys a cat. So I now have to awkwardly tell my coworker, "Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, her mom didn't allow them to get a cat, so we're not gonna."
Here's my question though: who the fuck buys a cat?
So and Jake even suggested it was cheaper in the long run to adopt a cat. I think it was 155 bucks, something like that, for the Mau Mau, all its shots, and the appointment to get it neutered.
So, man, you guys got robbed. Bunch of yippies.
Okay, hear me out. I was gonna get the cat for free, right? Jake talked Isabel and I out of it because he was like, "Yeah, my free cat, I've spent like $600-700 getting all its shots and neutered and all that." I was like, "Oh, 150 bucks is significantly cheaper."
So I found Abby on the streets of Savannah. Shots and stuff, I think those were like, I don't know, like 100 or something. That was standard. But Savannah has a huge overpopulation of cat problems. So once a month, they ship out, like, you can drop off your pet, and overnight, they basically, like, I think it's like animal. It's something legit. But it's like
Animal Humane Society.
Yeah. They'll like do like mass neutering of all these animals like once a month. Mm-hmm. And like most of them are like feral cats, but you can drop off like a pet one.
Mm-hmm.
Problem was we missed the first window. So there was an awkward like month of her in heat, which is like, oh girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
our appointment is in November.
Boy, did you get a girl? I'm assuming.
Boy.
Okay.
Yeah, getting him neutered. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, essentially like 150 bucks for a cat plus neutering and all this. I thought it was a good deal.
I'll say every cat owner I know, it's like, yep, I got my little garbage gremlin like pitching it out of the trash can.
Yeah, that's funny. Jake, I think he got Vader for free, and then he paid for Grayson, something like that. But yeah, it's adorable, and I'm so happy that it's hypoallergenic because I am extremely allergic to cats. Like, it's horrible. I hate it.
See, I've been like Team Jordan all night until now.
even in Jake and I's argument.
That one I'm not getting it. That one literally I'm trying to avoid because I was like, this is just dumb.
I told you. Did I not say from the beginning that it's a stupid argument? Right?
Especially my personal favorite when he's like, how dare you besmirch Alan Moore? By the way, I just got V the Vendetta Absolute.
Oh my god, I was dying. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I thought I was laughing from the moment he started complaining to Jess, and it was just icing on the cake when he was complaining to Isabel. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say on that note, Josh.
Slackers.
I'm gonna say on
the problem with ending that stream, I got to take down this light. So it's like, no, let's keep going. I don't want to take this down. It's a pain in the ass.
I'm sweating here, and I don't even have the hot light. I don't have that fancy.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
I think it's similar to what Jake has, which, god damn, when we're recording in that room, it gets hot in there.
Well, so what's funny is because Jake and Dorson are both like, hey, we want to do this interview in like June, and I'm like, yo, it was two things. Like, I was getting ready for Heroes Con too. I'm like, those are the hot months. Like, let's do this in the winter. And
it's the worst part is out here in California, it's the hottest it's been all year long. 106 degrees out here, something like that.
Yeah, because we've been like upper 90s, which it's like it's weird because we're becoming more of like a tropical um temperature.
You said you're in Savannah, so Savannah, Georgia, I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
I live in Atlanta now. I went to college in Savannah.
You
But
went
yeah,
to,
it's
okay.
Georgia.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, see, for me, after this, I'm gonna be honest, I'm jumping in that bed and I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning. So
I will say this though, that Little Witch Academia, move that up on your
Little
list.
Witch. Okay. Little Witch is gonna be my next anime to watch.
Oh wait a minute,
Bef-
you don't have Netflix though, right?
I have it right now.
Okay, yeah, because it's one of those weird Netflix exclusives.
Okay. Yeah, so like I have that. I'll move that up on the list. I have that, and then I'll have Cyberpunk to watch.
Cyberpunk, man, that
I
one,
hear it's really good.
and it's shorter because it's like 6 episodes. But yeah, fucking A, it's good.
Okay, I definitely got to watch it. Right before we go, run me through. Reach 109 here in Modesto a couple of times. Disgusting.
Oof.
I hate the heat. I'm a winter person.
Yeah, it's like I rather, well, because I'm the kind of person that's like turn off the heat. Like I won't turn on the heat on average. It's like let's just throw on a sweater or hoodie.
Yeah, I could always put more layers on. I
Hmm.
can't take more layers off.
And it just kills me because, like I said, my current, it's like all of a sudden in the summer months, I'm like, ugh, that electric bill is going to be higher.
All right, guys. And on that note of electric bills, we're gonna end tonight's stream at 2 hours and 31 minutes. Who are we doing this on a random? What's today? A random Wednesday night. Crazy.
What's funny is I like Jake had to be guilted into doing this stream.
He was the first to leave. He was like, anime, manga. Ugh, this is not my channel.
What's funny is give it like he'll buy the Berserk Deluxes.
Oh, and he's gonna fucking love it.
And then, like, in 3 months, he's going to be like, I have all the One Piece box sets. I have. Because reading comics and buying comics are two different hobbies.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't even dipped his toes in the manga. He's going to lose. I got the Akira box set that's out of print right now.
I need to get that one. That one. Ugh.
It's good. It's really nice. I bought it for my sister as a gift. I'm thinking of taking that gift back because it's nice. I love it.
Wait a minute. Did you hear about how I got into Berserk?
No, I have not.
You want to hear the story?
Yeah, final story. Let's hear it. I'm ready.
Okay. So back in college, I was hanging out with a friend. Like this was our senior year. Like I think it was like May or something. Like we're done in June, so it's like we're wrapping up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were just hanging out. Turns out I was getting dumped because he was about to get married to a like uber Christian girl, and we were both moving up to Atlanta, and he didn't see me in his life.
Oh.
And here's the funny thing. Like that's the typical response. We weren't that good of friends, so it's like I wasn't even that. I was just more shocked. I was like, oh, okay. Like, part of me is like, you could have done the mature thing. Stop texting each other, and we would falling out like decent, like normal human beings.
Wow.
But anyway, so like after dumping me, he took me out for like Sunday. Like it was like the 100% like the typical like, you're pretty. It's me. It's not you. As I'm getting out, and I'll tell the full story version. As I was getting out, he's like, "Oh yeah, I also have comics that is a going away present because I can't have those in my house." And it was Berserk like volumes 1 through 24. I want to say.
Nice.
So I didn't read them. I had them in this box. I moved because it's like whatever. So I moved, didn't read them. And a friend of mine, like, turns out he was big into Berserk. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I got a box of those. So I gave them to him. Mm-hmm. And then I watched the anime via Netflix back when they used to do the DVD delivery.
Okay.
I was like, holy shit, this is good. So I asked my friend, I was like, hey, can I borrow those manga? Yeah, and it's been like
and that's
10
it.
years now. He's not getting them.
Awesome.
Because that's
Well,
one
hey.
like I'm a little behind on the deluxes, which is fine because I can get finish that out next year. But I like having those paperbacks still because if friends are like, "Oh, I want to try Berserk," I'm like, "Here, try these."
Yeah, having an extra copy of something is always nice, just in case. That's a hey, you lost something, but truly you may have gained something even better.
Oh, I really did. It's one of the like I said, 'cause it's like you don't fit in my life. I'm like, woof, I'm dodging a bullet here.
Oh yeah. Anyone that's saying that to you is.
And I didn't bring it up, but I'm like, wow, that's a very Christ-like attitude. Because Jesus going, oh yeah, we don't want them in my life.
Hey, hello, babe. You're still up. What are you doing? Look, she's still here. How cute.
I think Isabel just likes me because I'm on her team.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everyone's on her team.
But yeah, it's one of those. I've noticed this trend because it's like everyone, and it's a great manga, but everyone's like, it's the GOAT, and I'm like, this shouldn't be your first.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I always think, like Jake said, he likes something more lighthearted. You should always pick something that you prefer, and then get into the other stuff.
Well, and I feel like the other problem is because everyone's like, Berserk is amazing, Berserk is amazing, Berserk is amazing. So when you pick it up and go, page 1, this isn't amazing. Page 2, why isn't this amazing?
Yeah, those expectations get built up, and man, I've been let down by those kind of expectations before.
Because you've read Akira, which, Akira as a whole is amazing.
Oh, it's great. I started with the movie, and I loved the movie itself, and then I was like, I gotta know more because I know the movie only contains so much. It's really like the first 2 books.
Well,
of Akira.
You know the story of the movie, right? Like the behind the scenes.
I know it, but I want to see if it's the same as what you're talking about.
The creator of Tomo used to work in animation and stuff, and did character designs. But he directed the Akira movie.
Yes.
While he was working on Akira, and before he finished it. So it's this weird, it's not done, but it's part of the source material.
Yeah.
He definitely was okay, I think because of that he changed a couple of the ideas of the ending.
He definitely did, because it feels very different vibes. So when I talk about Akira, like I say volume 1, volume 2, I'm talking about the box set of it, not the actual individual issues. Because volume 1 and volume 2 gave me very different vibes compared to what the movie was. Like they follow the same story, but seeing the more religious aspects getting thrown in made it feel completely different, and the connections were separated. But by the end, the way that it ended in the manga, I thought was phenomenal.
But my other point is, since you've read Akira, though, you kind of know what to expect with a longer manga, a bigger.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that's the thing. Yeah. It's easy to go in and being like, I know it's and I feel like I don't know. Some of it's youth or something where it's because it's weird when it's when you're first getting into something, you're like, oh, I don't want to be behind. I want to know all this stuff. But then you kind of realize you can only enjoy this once. You only get this fresh take once.
Yeah. Oh, what I'd give to have some stories or some movies fresh to me again would be awesome. Before we go then, because run me through, put one more. Josh, what do you think of Cowboy Bebop?
Oh my gosh, the thing that introduced me to jazz.
Ooh.
So Cowboy Bebop, especially, actually, back to the Pinterest.
Nice.
So, after comics wasn't working out, I then had to find a day job, and I had to learn graphic design on the job. And
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Sorry, I saw Wu-Tang on there.
Oh yeah. A lot of my graphic design stuff, whenever I need inspiration, I go straight to Blue Note Records, which is the old jazz albums. Nice. But I found out about these because of the intro of Cowboy Bebop.
Awesome.
Honestly, like I think it's because speaking of Wu-Tang though, no, Cowboy Bebop, especially it's like that is such a great intro to anime. Like I need to rewatch that because it's just an amazing show. And it's one of those like I want more episodes, but I'm also like, don't touch it. Like
See, my intro to jazz was the song Soul Eater from Metal Gear Solid 3.
oh nice, yeah.
That song slaps. I still play it to this day. It's phenomenal. And I was just listening to the 26 Chambers of Wu-Tang earlier today, and Isabel goes, "Why do you listen to songs that are so explicit?" And I'm like, this is poetry.
Like 26 or 36 Chambers of
I'm sorry, 36.
Yeah.
36. Yeah.
Is one of the best. What kills me, I really wish they made like another 1 or 2 albums before they separated and did their own individual thing. Because it's like
awesome.
There were certain magic laws. But I don't know who did this. Someone took a bunch of old like Blue Note records, but they applied it to Wu-Tang.
It's so good. Oh yeah, the return. Yeah. Wu-Tang Killer Bees. And then this one. Oh, it's so good. I love Wu-Tang.
Especially, I mean, like look at this. I don't have the balls to do this. And this is what kind of when times when people are like, "Oh, let's talk about cover design." I'm like, that's covered like
that's awesome.
Especially like this one too. It's like, holy shit. And this is so still one of my favorite compositions. Like that. Oh.
Yeah, put yourself out there, Josh. Don't undershoot yourself. You have 2 phenomenal series. You got the rep to start doing this your own.
Oh, I've already done this with my old series, Scotty Odyssey. No, but here's the thing. Like this is me talking like me when I talk to like my artist friends and stuff like that. Because the other thing is, man, this tells a story right here. Like, okay, we'll end it on this one. One of my favorite things with comics is you get into a certain rhythm and a certain beat. And I feel like everyone always loves to talk about the writers, but it's like panel shapes and panel compositions tell such an important story because it's like, depending on the size of the panel, tells you how long like that note or beat's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So like when you get this, because it's like boom, 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 boom.
So you're reading them as quarter notes or whole note?
Well, I'm not reading them.
I know. I'm just kidding you.
I know, but here's the thing. Let's go to
Also, yes, Jake, we are still going.
Yeah, Jake, you gave up on us.
Oh, he sent a super chat.
How does that work?
Did you send a super chat or did you send me just? Oh yeah, it's super chat. Oh, he sent himself a super chat.
I was gonna say he gave YouTube 40 cents. But where's a good? Oh man, what kills me is. Okay, yeah, this is a good example. So like, no idea what this comic is, but when we look at this, because it's like big panel, quick little moments, slightly quicker panel. And it's like, it's moments like that. It's like still storytelling like that. Because like, if you notice in Bang right here, all these are similar size because I kind of want them to read like as like similar motion.
Dude, fucking Jake's comedy. It's a third of the way for Jordan to get Patreon.
He bullies you into so many things.
I know he does. And I let him is the worst part.
Especially like you're like, I work 7 days a week, don't get a break.
I really. And then he goes, buddy, you got today off? Come over and record. I'm like, okay, I'll go. I'll go be your director and filmographer. I'll throw in my little tips, suggestions, retakes. Yeah, it's okay.
And ruin his ultimate ideas for Batman that's no one else has done because it's Batman.
Oh, has he told you what my next video is or my like planned video?
Mm-mm.
So I don't think I've announced it, So my video that I've been working on for like almost 2 months, which really it's been more like a month, is I'm talking about Frank Miller's Batman, everything
Ooh.
from beginning to current end, which is Golden Child. So going over the synopsis of each book and my takes on it, it is a trip.
You know what? Can I give a hot take that I know you'll agree with?
Please.
I am tired of these damn youngins talking smack about Dark Knight Returns.
Who's talking smack about DK?
Oh my gosh,
DKR.
I hear so often where it's like, it's overrated, it's this, it's that. It's like, man, Frank Miller paved the road to so much modern Batman. You have no idea.
I agree. Dark Knight Returns, one of my favorites. Like I think it is my favorite comic if I have to think about it.
Because honestly, on OmniDog's show, it was like, oh, what was your favorite Batman moment? And I'm like, oh, the mud pit.
Oh, it's so good.
Especially because the thing I love about that, it's like of all like my favorite Batman to this day is still the animated series. But the thing I love about the mud pit, I'm like, this shows you what Batman is, because it's like he owns that fight because he's thought of everything.
Yeah.
And the thing also, like, I don't want Batman to kill people, but Batman definitely, like, I could see him cutting above someone's eye to make them bleed into their own.
Oh, hell yeah. As a strategic move to slow down his enemy and blind him, it is genius. And even the one-liners thrown in there are phenomenal.
Especially, yeah, because it's like, doesn't do a lot of damage, but you can't use that arm.
This isn't a mud pit. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Oh, that's goes so hard. That's such a good line.
Especially when he's just breaking his bones, where you're like, fuck.
Yeah, he has him pinned in the hold. Oh my god, that's such a good scene.
Also, like, man, Todd McFarlane, like, Spawn wouldn't be the same because, like, without the Dark Knight Returns, that introduced the whole like news anchors talking about the heroes and what's going on, and also having a depressed Joker who only gets excited hearing that Batman's back. Like, that was such a great moment.
It is. It really is. And Jake, you can leave. Jake said Dark Knight Strikes Again is even better.
See, and that's one, like, I saw the art. I've heard nothing but bad things. I'm like, too many canaries have died. I am not going down that.
Look, I'm gonna be truthful, and the reason why I read it, because I wasn't there when it was coming out. That's not my story. And when the video comes out eventually, you'll hear Jess's take on it, OmniDog Jess, on like the experience of being there when it was releasing. I read it intentionally knowing that it's bad, but I read it to appreciate comics more.
Well, there is something different because, like, if you know something's bad, like you gird your loins, and you have to, like, I'll just be real. I don't know if it'll affect my career or not. Like, Frank Miller was the GOAT for the longest time, where it's like no one can touch him. He's fucking Frank Miller. So especially like Frank Miller coming out back to Batman. Holy shit, this can only be good.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my, and especially it's like, I don't know if it's like, I think it was two things. One, he clearly like was done writing Batman, but you know, $1 million, like no one's gonna say no to $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, I can talk about my scruples, but it's like, especially $1 million in 1990, it's like, but then, yeah, 9/11, he just got like, and it's like, I don't know if it's like the cocaine.
The Islamic phobia in all his books after that was insane.
I remember that time though. It was the style, especially freedom fries. Oh my gosh, those were the worst. Because I was in high school when that was going around, and it's like, it was weird because it's like, okay, you want to be supportive of America, but fucking freedom fries? Like, what is this?
You know what, Jake? You're correct. Why is Jordan on stream when he could be petting Onyx? And that's where we're going to end it on Islamophobia. All right, guys. You have a great rest of your night.
Nothing says the Brave and the Boys like Islamic phobia.
I feel like this is Cards Against Humanity, and I just drew the best card in the deck.
The
a
biggest
bigger, blacker dick. Yeah. All right, that's what we're ending it. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, because hell, I know I like making this kind of content. Josh, thank you so much for being here. Where can every 7 people in the audience find you?
You can find me at Webtoons and Tapas with Bang the Ballad of the Tiger. Also, if you go to unprocomics.com, that's unprofessional. You can find me on most social media at Great House Art. I am on X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. Don't post that often, but I'm on there.
Nice.
And
don't forget to pick up your copy of Bang the Ballad of the Tiger.
I don't have because usually I say stay minty. I don't have a good one for you guys. Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom,
you know what? You can take Jake and I. So you say stay brave, and I'll say stay bold.
Stay brave, Jordan. Stay brave.
Stay bold, Josh. Stay brave.
Good thing James won't cut that because he's